Like off the top of my head, probably the last real good fight I seen.
So Dave wanted to know if we're not on YouTube. Check it out now, Dave. It should be on there. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties trying to get on tonight. But it should be good. We should be on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook right now. So
technical difficulties. We're just drunk.
Yeah, well, that too. Yeah, we should be. Yeah, it looks like we're good. We're good now.
Sorry, Dave.
Polsky is listening in the mountains in Equinic,
PI. Yeah. I seen Deliverance. I ain't going up there.
You got a pretty mouth.
You ever have a gal suggest that you need some attentions paid to your butts holes?
Good luck.
Squeal like a pig, boy.
Good luck with that, Mark.
You got Mark. You got a pretty mouth.
Mark, if you're in the woods and you got a fire going and
hold on, and I know you can hear Mark's up there with his brothers-in-laws. So I know there's some funky shit going on there.
So Mark, if you hear run.
No. Or
run.
Embrace it. It's not that bad. Trust me. My dad taught me better. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. All right. So next week,
you only have an anal leakage for 14
That's
days.
all. So like I said,
14 days.
So next week, SG Carter will be joining us next week. He's going to give us some inside information on how to bet MMA. If you're a bettor, or if you like the MMA, you're not going to want to miss this because he has an 80% success rate in his bets. It's going to be interesting. So, yep, be interested to hear how he does it. Guys. So we drank some Vault Brewing earlier tonight, and now I'm drinking lager. Vault Brewing is a local brewery in PA, and Gary's drinking Yards, and Ryan had some beers tonight. Ryan had we had some Naked Brewing.
Yeah, so me and Sean went and whacked some balls because we're on this flex scheduling thing at work, and we get out of work at 1:30. So we go to the driving range.
These fucking guys spend more time together than fucking cock and balls.
And
sounds like you're jealous.
And I got to tell you,
sounds like you're jealous.
Sean, give me props. Today was the best day. I whacked some very good balls today. Very good balls today.
Actually, Ryan is making better contact for sure. We have work to do, but you're making better contact. We'll get there.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
And then so we go to Naked Brewing. We ain't been there in a while, and I actually drank 2 beers. What were they called?
Then you asked this question.
Yeah, I did, but I forget again.
I don't remember what they were.
Something Maze.
It's Haunted Maze.
Haunted Maze.
It was Haunted Maze. It was Naked Brewing's Buck Naked. It's a cream ale with like spices like cinnamon in it. It was actually really good.
It was delicious. I seriously enjoyed it.
Phil Mikowski wants to know did you cup those balls or just or did you just caress them gently?
Well, that's between me and Sean. Like,
I mean, that's a secret squirrel action.
If you bring it up on the show, you got to divulge entire information.
I caressed them gently
a little bit.
Did you make them squirt?
Every time I caressed them gently, they went the right way.
I'm coming day and night.
Of course.
So you made his underwear sticky
a little bit.
All right, before Jordan calls in and regrets his decision immediately, I think it's how we're talking about drinking cream. Yeah, you're kind of right there. Let's talk about the Eagles. The Eagles win week 1. We got to give props to Gary now.
Yeah.
And I'm getting my props later, by the way. Gary gets his props now. Gary was the closest to the score prediction. We laughed at him.
He called him to blow the Falcons out. I was like, you're nuts. Not gonna lie. For lack of a better word, I thought there was no way, and Gary called it, man. They looked better than I expected them to look last week. Mm-hmm. I do think you have to take it a little bit with a grain of salt. It was the Atlanta Falcons, but a dominating win is a dominating win in the NFL.
Credit where credit is due.
Exactly. And
we celebrated and enjoyed that win, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I don't remember half of it.
And Jalen Hurts, again, it's 1 week, but if this is the Jalen Hurts you're going to get, Eagles got a bright future.
Yeah, I got to be honest, man. Like, Dave Peterson just said Hurts threw 3 touchdown passes. I stand corrected. He looked good. Dave, you're not the only one. There's a lot of people who doubted him. I'm one who I'm not tooting trust me, I'm not tooting my own horn. But I was one, and it's only 1 game, and I understand it. And a lot can happen during a season. Can he hold up during a 16-game season, 17-game season? I don't know. But the one thing was that I felt like he has the wherewithal, he has it in between his eyes, and he has the athletic ability to be a good quarterback in this league as long as he can become a little more accurate.
And I think
that touchdown pass to Goddard in the end
That
zone.
pass,
Ooh.
that was as good as you can get
On the run as well.
And by the way, so for those who, if you watch the game, you know what we're talking about. There was a touchdown pass to Dallas Goedert in the end zone. So Hurts comes back. The rush is coming from his left. So he kind of goes to his right a little bit. He steps up as the guy's coming from his right now. Now he shifts more to the left, right? So he basically does I'm trying to think like a perpendicular type of like
a fucking Z-line.
Yeah, like it was wild. And he gave himself space. He rolled to his right and fired a bullet
across his body.
With both feet off the ground, by the way, when he threw the pass.
And across his body.
And now Dallas Goedert, I mean, you couldn't have thrown it. And Goddard, great catch. And like you couldn't have thrown it any better. The catch was fantastic. It was awesome.
Like Goddard made a great catch, but the most impressive thing about that, Hurts put it in the only spot it could be put in. Like Goddard had to make a really good catch on it for it to work. But if it didn't work, then it's just an incomplete pass. Like he put it in the only spot it should have been in. The most impressive thing with Hurts to me last week, and again, like we all said it was against the Falcons. It's one game. I get it. But that's the only sample that we have this year. So the most impressive thing about him last week, if you ask me, he not once put them in a bad position.
Throw the ball away when it needed to be thrown away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I don't remember once in that game where them being in a third and negative situation.
Gosh, that's a good point.
Like
that is true.
They were never in a bad spot.
They were never in a third and long where you're like, oh, they can't get this.
Right.
You're right about that.
He never put them in a bad position.
Huh. You're right about that. I never thought. So there was one play in particular. Dave Peterson said, I saw shades of a young McNabb.
I can't argue with that.
There was one play where he was rolling to his right, had no room to throw, and it was fourth down. They're going forward on fourth down, and he had nowhere to go. And he thought about running. He was being chased down. He had no opportunity. He stopped, stutter stepped. The defender didn't bite, and he knew, okay, I can't get around this guy.
Throw it away.
But the way he threw it away is what impresses me. He stopped. His feet were still in bounds. Quick chuck, and then got pushed out. The athletic ability he showed on that play to me was like, that was amazing. Like it was such an amazing play, and I felt like that play. I said during the week, I said to somebody on Twitter or whatever,
like he knew he was going to get hit.
That was so underrated. It wasn't talked about enough, and what he did there, it was so smart. You know what? I'm not going to give them an extra because he was like good 12, 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I'm not going to give them another 15 yards in their own.
Sometimes punting is not a bad play.
Yeah.
Right.
And that again, he just didn't put you in a bad position. Going forward, we'll see. Like when the competition's better, even this coming Sunday,
this weekend, yeah.
But as of right now, man,
the one thing that hasn't been mentioned, the offensive line. They
were fantastic.
They kept him on his feet.
Brandon Brooks, some of the blocks.
Yeah.
Malata. We'll talk about
God.
Jordan Malata in a second. But some of the blocks, Kelsey and Brandon Brooks, first of all, look like they've been playing together for 15 years. I know they've been playing for a few years. They look like they're the ultimate pros, right? Tap on the shoulder, go hike, and then they pick up their schemes. They pick up their gaps so well.
They don't miss gaps, man.
Not at all.
Now, the offensive line is old.
They don't miss gaps.
Giggity, giggity, giggity. Fucking right in the pussy.
The offensive line is old, but if they stay healthy, man, they could be regarded as one of the best offensive lines in football again.
That's going to be tough.
Right.
That's going to be tough.
Because they're old.
Like even Lane
besides
Johnson, as much as I love him, he's aging as well.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I mean, we talked about this a few weeks ago. I had no idea Lane Johnson
He's 31 years old.
Yeah.
That's
Been in the league
man,
almost 10 years.
it's nuts.
And there was a couple plays even watching Sunday, like I thought he was beat. And then he just backed around and went off to the side. And
Yeah, like you see,
like he looked like he was beat and
like
he wasn't.
he's got because the past 2 years or so, I don't want to say he's breaking down, but he's had injuries. He hasn't been as healthy as he was previous.
He's not shooting roids no more.
Right. Well, he's got to learn how to be like a savvy veteran. Like, you know what I mean?
Play a little dirty.
Like cheat, but without getting
Play a
caught.
little dirty.
Yeah.
Right.
Like call John Runyon up.
Yeah. But he had a great mentor in that, and Jason Peters because
He didn't give up any sacks.
right. But the last 5 years of Jason Peters leaves a bad taste in our mouth. But the 3 years prior to that, Jason Peters learned how to be a savvy veteran, and he cheated and got away with a lot.
Mhm.
So,
All right. So Dave's thrown out some stats for us. Dave Peterson, one of our most lively listeners, I guess, and I wanted to have Dave on the show. We're gonna work it out soon. 27 to 35, 264, 3 touchdowns, no picks, rushed 7 times for 62 yards.
then he had a perfect rating, didn't he?
It was a 102.
No, it was higher than
It was
that.
higher than that.
It was over 140. His rating.
Yeah, it wasn't perfect, but it was
But the ones
Perfect is 158.
yeah, something like that.
the one stat I like, 0 sacks. Not 1 sack.
Right.
That's
Again,
true.
no picks. Like he didn't put him in a bad position.
Mhm.
Not once.
But I mean,
Um,
you expect picks.
And
You
all,
expect that to happen.
it's almost like
zero sacks.
it's almost like a new debut, right, for Hurts. And Devontae Smith did debut for his first career NFL game, and he had he tied a franchise NFL record for having 6 catches in his first NFL game.
Who did he tie?
And a touchdown, by the way.
Who did he tie?
He tied Deshaun Jackson.
Yes, he did.
Deshaun Jackson's
Yep.
first game.
Yes.
So did you see the thing? Devontae Smith catches his first NFL touchdown in the same exact spot he caught the winning touchdown in the national championship game.
Was it really?
for
Yes.
Alabama last
Yeah.
year?
Really?
And it was the same. It was the same over the shoulder
Yeah.
type pass.
No way.
Yep.
Yes.
Was it really?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
The same exact spot.
Peterson said he was sacked once.
Yo, did Hurts throw him that pass?
Yeah.
In Alabama?
No, it was
No,
it was the guy who just got drafted.
Mac Jones?
Mac Jones.
I want to fucking another beer. Of course I do.
Sure you
Of
do.
course I do.
Sure you can.
You need another beer? No,
Sure.
nobody needs a drink.
Yeah, give me a beer.
So Hurts was sacked once. Peterson said it was the same exact play. That was I missed that. I didn't
it was
notice
the same
that.
exact It was like almost like the same exact.
That's
Good
because
play
the
call.
coaching staff built plays and wrote plays to build the strengths between the quarterback and the wide receiver. That's what they did.
Man, I tell you
I was
what.
impressed with Sirianni too. Like all the press
Thanks
conferences.
for bringing that up. Thanks for bringing it
Yeah,
up.
like all the press conference aside, like this, like when he talks, he sounds like a goofball. Like, are we in unison here?
I don't hear the goofball. I hear
But I'm just saying, like, I'm not doing it as a dig, but he sounds like a little bit of a goofball when he speaks. But the guy seems to know ball.
I've said it since day one.
Right.
I don't care.
Me neither.
No,
Like, if
you
you
did. Oh, hold on.
you, Brian, you were the one that trashed him.
You did.
Okay, all right, I'll give you
I'm
that.
not picking on you.
No.
I'm saying there's a lot because there's a lot of people out there who are picking on this guy. And I know it's one game. Again, it's one game.
But the things that he said in press conferences and
I don't
interviews,
care about any of
Right,
that shit.
but I also said,
I get it, Sean, but I'm saying that's why
right,
you're
like I also said,
the rock, scissors, paper.
right, like that kind of shit. He sounds like a goofball. I did say that and all, and I did kill him.
I
but
said he's quirky.
but I
I
also,
also said the same thing about Peterson.
but I also said when he talks ball, he seems like he knows what
Yeah.
the fuck he's talking about.
And if you hear every interview that he does and the things that he says, he's putting a secret message out to his players. He's telling the players, hey, man, I respect what you're doing.
Hey, man, nice shot.
Yeah, dude. Like, you know,
The coach I was most impressed with on Sunday, though, is Jonathan Gannon.
not in the first 2 quarters you weren't.
No, I'm talking about because of the adjustments he made. It wasn't even through the second quarter. Like, I know I went on and on about it. Like, it was a problem. Like, it was starting to worry me.
Shut them the fuck down.
It was starting to worry me the way they were gouging them with the running game.
32 to motherfucking 6. Bro.
Yeah, but I will say when Jonathan Gannon said, "All right, enough's enough," like Matt Ryan's not going to beat us.
Mm-hmm.
Like he made an adjustment, and then the Falcons had nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Well, I mean, when you're down so many points, bro. Like in the first quarter, their running game was
gouging us.
right, but when you're down so many points, you're down 14 or more points. You got to go to a passing game. So that being said, our defense did stand up, but also they caused Atlanta's offense to readjust
To be one-dimensional.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah,
So when your
the
offense
first-
becomes one-dimensional,
And you got it. Arthur Smith looked lost on Sunday.
Well, not at the beginning. I mean, look,
No, not at the
they dominated the time possession. They just couldn't get the ball in the end zone,
Right.
which is a lot like Atlanta's offense against us the past few years.
Right.
They can drive the field. They can't get in the end zone. 15-10.
You know what I would?
Wild card game.
You know what I was most surprised from the Falcons standpoint on Sunday? I know how it's going to sound because he's on my fantasy team, but like you bring Kyle Pitts in, who seems like a
Good for you.
they didn't use them.
but you bring him in,
Yeah,
and this dude seems like a phenom type
Yeah,
player.
he does.
He's a tight end that's built like a wide
They
receiver,
didn't use them.
and they didn't design anything for him.
No, that was wild.
Like
That
he
was
wasn't
wild.
even. It's like he wasn't even included in
That
the
dude.
offense.
Oh, wait a
That dude's
minute.
built like he's a fucking monster.
Yeah.
What a lot of teams with their rookie stars do this.
But not
They
what
do this.
But not what I hear you, Gar. But if you're
I mean,
the Atlanta,
Ridley was tearing us up in the first quarter.
but if you're the Atlanta Falcons, the point you're at, you're trying to rebuild with a 37-year-old quarterback, and you draft a guy like Kyle Pitts, who's supposed to be like the next unbelievable thing in the NFL. You don't design anything for him. Like it didn't look like there was one play that was designed specifically for Pitts.
Again, bro, you're down more than 14 points.
Not in the first quarter. Not in the first half of the second
He had
quarter.
a couple catches.
But he had a couple. What I mean, there was nothing specifically designed for him.
I get what you're saying. I understand that, but I'll say this: we're not in the coaching room. We're not in the wide receivers room. We don't know what's going on or what happened. Fuck them. They lost.
Right.
Fuck them.
But you're missing my point, bro.
No. You're saying a high quality draft pick who could be a beast, and you don't design a play to go to him.
Right. That's.
I mean, you can't do that when your quarterback's under pressure.
But they weren't under pressure the first quarter, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
the
that's what I
first
mean.
half. Remember,
It was a close game in the first half.
It was first half. It was close game in the first half, and Atlanta was dominating time possession.
They had the
Big
ball.
time.
Like
They were running down our throats.
You didn't need Pitts because the
We
running
allow
game,
like
the
100
running game was tearing us apart, and in the receiving game, it was fucking Ridley. He was ripping us up.
The first two drives, and that was it. He disappeared.
Yeah, right.
So
your
All right,
answer
well-
was Cordell Patterson run the ball. Like that's what. Like
God.
my only point
I
here
know.
is that Arthur Smith just looked fucking lost. We took the running game out of it, and he had no idea what to do.
What do you
Right.
expect with a guy
I
with the
mean,
first name Arthur?
And before,
Get the fuck out of here with that. Was he from 1926?
He's from fucking King of Queens.
Get out of here with fucking Arthur.
He's from King of Queens.
Fucking Arthur Smith. It's like a-
Yeah. When does art go by Arthur?
yeah,
Right.
fucking Christopher Cross song in the background.
yeah, fucking Arthur. Arthur Smith. Yeah, Arthur Smith raises the fucking Lombardi. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
He was
Yeah.
one of the most.
Get out of here.
I mean,
Stop. Nope. I don't want to hear it.
Giddy up.
All right, we're gonna move on. Mulata getting extended.
That's a
Hold on.
Giddy.
Giggity, giggity, giggity.
Yo,
Jordan
I
Mulata
got-
gets.
I got these cheeseburgers.
I
don't have that.
Stinks.
I don't know anything about that. You won't buy some of this meat or what?
This man smelled like a pack of Marlboro cigarettes, 4 shots of Everclear alcohol, and regret.
Where the fuck did that come from?
What? What are you talking about?
I don't remember that one.
What? I don't know what you're.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know what.
Marlboro cigarettes, Everclear, and failure. That's fucking
No, he does not. Jordan Mailata is the opposite of that. He's been awesome. 3 years playing football, and this motherfucker gets a huge extension again.
Giggity, giggity, giggity.
Good for him. And
keeps becoming.
I tell you what, Andre Dillard, go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
all right,
trade that
You're out.
cocksucker.
You're out.
Yeah, trade him and then fuck his mom in the ass.
I like if Mailata turns into what he looks like he might turn into. You got him cheap, so I mean, this kind of shit is what Howie's good at.
That dude is a fucking beast.
But from the contract point of view, like Howie is good at this kind of stuff.
I mean, me personally, Howie Roseman has had a very good offseason.
Mm-hmm.
Good offseason.
Yeah. And if Hurts turns into something, he's gonna look like a fucking genius.
Come on, baby, make it hurt so good.
Yeah. So well done. I mean, most of the guaranteed money is in the first 2 years, so you can cut bait if it doesn't work. Well done, man.
Who do you owe his progress to? Stalin.
It's down a lot.
Stalin for sure.
Lane
Stalin for sure.
Lane Johnson and Jason Peters.
Mm-hmm. Andre Dillard, though, what do you do with that fucking sack of shit?
You keep him as depth, and if the right trade comes along, you trade him.
I don't know who's gonna. I don't know who's gonna want.
Who's gonna want him? What do you get for him?
Sorry. Look, you look at it like this. Say God forbid, just for example, Hurts doesn't turn into what he looked like last week, right? So the Eagles finished 3-14.
Right, they're still
Ugh.
what? They're still.
You shut your.
Shut your.
Shut your
fucking
mouth.
pile.
I'm just saying.
Phillies just went up 2-1, by the way.
So
Brad Miller.
So the Eagles finished 3-14, right?
Oh my god.
They got the 4th pick, but there's a quarterback at number 2. You trade a first, a second, and you throw Dillard in there, like just to sweeten the pot, like you know what I mean?
Yeah, you just throw him in there.
Right.
Yeah, it could be. Could
You know-
be.
You know what I mean?
I mean, we got.
He was a former first-round pick. There's still value there.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know.
moving on. Next.
All right. All right. So 49ers come into town.
His his weakness.
Did we have any home fans last year? Did we have
No.
any? No. Yes, we did for 2 games, and then he cut it off.
Right.
So we had the first.
We
game.
had fans at the playoff game.
We didn't.
No,
play
we didn't make the
last year.
playoffs last year.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
No, I'm thinking of that Seattle.
Shut the fuck up!
I'm thinking that.
last year.
I'm thinking that Seattle. Dude, the shit that the years have run
know.
into each other
Last
with
year
COVID.
we
dude.
had 2 games where players or teams were fans were allowed to come, and then they shut it down
Right.
again. So
Come.
So really, for the first time in 2 years,
You're gonna have a
baby,
full,
baby.
You're
We're
gonna
gonna
have
have a full house at the
stadium.
link.
Yeah.
San Fran's coming cross country to play us.
I mean,
I want to hear you guys let's go through this because
like you know how
The
40
49
fans are. They're going to be fired up. They're going to be out there at 10 o'clock tailgating.
10.
10 o'clock.
I've been there 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's been
They're going to be drinking. They're going to be all lit up
like us.
like this.
Every fucking
like
Friday.
this is going to be a very special home opener.
They've been
The fans aren't going to affect how it goes on the
Yeah,
field.
yes, it will. Yes, they will.
No, they're not.
Yes, they will.
I think that the flight alone affects how this goes.
But they really weren't across country. They played in.
Detroit. No, not Detroit. Where the fuck did they play last week?
They had
it was Detroit.
And they had a
Yeah,
hard
right,
time with Detroit.
They really didn't. Like they gave up the lead when they were playing prevent
They
defense.
gave up 33 points.
They did, but they dominated the game until 10 minutes left. Like you know what I mean? Let's be real here.
They ain't getting 33 points against the Eagles.
The Eagles aren't scoring 30 points against them. That
saying
defense is
Detroit-
too good.
Who said they were? I didn't say they were. I just said they ain't giving 33 points against the Eagles defense. That's all.
Why? Because the Eagles defense dominated Atlanta,
You are the most pessimistic. Negative.
and you're the most optimistic, bro. Like they played Atlanta. Like I love how it went. I love how it went last week, but San Francisco. The San Francisco's a different animal than the Atlanta Falcons.
Okay.
Are they?
I don't disagree.
They
with that.
are.
But Atlanta's
They're healthy.
They're still an NFL.
They just lost one of the starting cornerbacks and just lost
They-
their starting running back.
Yeah,
They did.
Mostert's out.
And lost one of their starting cornerbacks.
They did.
Don't rub your cock while you're thinking about it. Just say the story. tell us.
I am telling the story, but I'm being yelled at, and like I'm.
Who's
No
yelling
one's
at
yelling at you. You're yelling.
you?
You're the one yelling. You are the one
You
yelling.
raised the decibel of noise. Not us.
I mean,
To be fair,
To be fair.
he, you know,
Okay.
all right, he's not wrong. You are the one
All right.
yelling. You are the one yelling. All right.
Because you have a hard time believing it's the
Oh,
Eagles.
shit.
The Eagles this year. They're fuck. There's a lot of trash on the team.
I'm not. No, I never said that.
How are they beating the 49ers with what they got?
I'm not. No, I never said that.
So tell us how you feel. Why you don't?
Let's
think-
do it. Let's go
All right,
for it. Let's go for it.
How I feel is the same way I feel when I picked the record going forward. I did not expect the Eagles to dominate the Atlanta Falcons the way they did,
Right.
but I
nobody
expected them to win.
except for Gary.
Right. So I'm still on the same train. I think it's the only win they get in September. That doesn't mean that they don't come out and compete and look good. San Francisco, I feel, is just steps beyond them. San Francisco's a good squad, and their coach Kyle Shanahan's a good coach.
I can't argue with what you're saying, Ryan, but they haven't done anything since Super Bowl.
Because they didn't have this team. They were all hurt last year.
Excuses.
How is that an excuse, Gar?
Excuses. It's always got to be the next man up.
So the
Come
next
on.
man, so Joey Bosa's out for the year, so the next man just steps in and should play the way Joey Bosa does.
So that hasn't happened for any fucking team. All your stars are hurt. They get
Not
injured.
a guy like Joey Bosa, and they lost everyone they had on defense last year, and now they got them back.
Don't look at me with your eyebrows raised.
My eyebrows aren't raised.
They were when you made that
Yeah,
statement.
Jack Nicholson. Calm your tits.
Every time I make a point, you say, "Don't look at me with my eyebrows
No,
raised." Every time.
Hey.
you're entitled to your point.
Right? That fucking face from fucking anger management.
All right, so now you're gonna make a fucking ass out of me. That's cool too.
Hee haw.
How am I making an ass out of you?
I'll go have a cigarette.
Listen.
Fuck out of here.
Like I debate you and you get mad.
I'm not mad.
There you are.
Who's getting mad?
You're walking away saying I'm having a cigarette. I made an ass out of you because I
No.
debated you.
No one made an ass out of you.
Cigarette.
All right. No one made an ass out of you.
Argue?
Go take your
Have
cigarette.
this fucking cigarette.
You better not fucking leave, you cocksucker, like every other fucking
Leave
week.
my phone's here.
It's only 8:30. Like every other fucking week.
See?
Disappears in the middle. We're doing it.
Fuck you.
You're not. Just take his phone. All right, listen.
My dick. Suck my dick.
Dave Peterson just say Jason Verrett and Raheem Mostert are out. Yes, they are. That's it. Those are big losses for them. And I agree, Ryan, because we, when we picked our teams, and you weren't here last week, but I said the same thing, that last week was going to be the only week that you win in September. But the fact that they're suffering some injuries, and the fact that the Eagles looked so good last week, and the fact that they're home for a home opener, I think, and the Eagles have always played the 49ers well.
Mhm.
I think they have a good shot. I think they have a good shot on Sunday, and I'm eating crow on my prediction. I think the Eagles win this game.
Really?
Tight.
Yeah.
Tight.
I-
23-20.
I do think the Eagles make it a game. I do. I don't think it's a walk in the park for the 49ers. Not at all. I do think they make it a game. I
look at the matchups. Okay, I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
I look at the matchups. Now you got Hasty, you got Sermon as the running backs, right? Debo Samuel is going against Darius Slay. Ayuk struggled mightily, where the head coach came out last week and said he's struggling to become a pro.
That's huge.
Now maybe Ayuk takes that and
gets
as fuel,
motivated,
right? I don't know. Maybe he does because he killed it last year against the 49ers. That was Brandon Ayuk's coming out party.
Right. And then from that game on,
He was
had a very good rest of the year.
So maybe that's what he needed, right? Maybe kicking the ass, I don't know. That defense is still very good. However, our offensive line is healthy, and they looked fantastic last week. Jalen Hurts looks like I know it's been one game, but he looks like he has something to prove.
Yeah. Almost like he has a chip on his shoulder.
I'm looking at offense versus their offense versus our defense, and our offense versus their defense. And I don't know how we don't win this game. I don't know. I think we win close, but I don't know if Jimmy G can find enough. I mean, George Kittle. I know George Kittle's a great player. I just think we do enough.
Okay.
I just think that, I think 23-20 is my prediction.
I think the game is close. I think the Eagles compete. I think Hurts keeps them in it. I don't see how they run the ball very well against this defensive line, but at the same time, I don't know how San Francisco runs the ball against us. I think it's close, but I still think the 49ers, they've been there, done that. They're a veteran team. They have a lot of experience. Mm-hmm. I still think the 49ers pulled out in a close one. I'm going to say 26-24 Niners.
Okay. Let's see what the listeners say. And then when Gary joins, is it raining? Apparently it's raining outside. And when Gary joins back up, I'd like to see what he thinks. So our pick,
he probably thinks 31-3 Eagles.
So our pick'em for week 2, we're gonna go through the picks real quick, all right? And we're gonna go and see what you think. Last week, hold on, real quick. We'll go that in a second. Last week, come on. I finished 10-7, and you finished what, 8?
8-8.
8-8, and I'm trying to find Mike.
I don't know why I went 8-8. Like, I don't get it.
No, you were 9-8.
9-8. Okay.
And Mike was below that. Mike was
yeah, he only won 5.
Oh shit. Mike was 6-11 last week. So Mike had a bad week last week. All right, so we're gonna keep track of this all year. So there you go. All right, so here we go. Week 2. I had Washington. Did you have Washington over the Giants?
I'm sorry. Give me a second.
That's all right. Sorry. In a 1-point game. All right, so we'll go on the next one while you're looking it up.
All right.
You know what? Actually, you should look that up because that way we can compare.
Give me 1 second here.
It's all right because Gary's come down. I want to hear Gary's prediction for the game.
Yeah, hurry up, bro. What's your prediction for the
49ers.
Eagles game?
Yeah, score prediction for the Eagles 49ers. All right. What are you all mad for? Yeah. What are you raising your eyebrows for? Like Jack Nicholson. All right, Eagles 49ers. What's your prediction, Gary? He looks at you. He stares at his brother.
28-17 Eagles.
I told you.
What was it?
28-17 Eagles.
Okay. I'm saying 23-20 Eagles, and Ryan said what?
I said 26-24 Niners.
Okay.
Of course.
All right. Week 2. All right, here we go. Matchups.
I had Washington.
Okay. Bengals, Bears.
I took the Bears.
You did. I took the Bengals.
I like the Bengals as well.
Yeah, I think this is Dave Peterson said 28-21 Eagles. Wow.
Look, I hope I'm wrong. Obviously.
The Bears and the Bengals. Okay, so we're split on. I don't know what Mike said, but so we'll just go with that. What do you think, Gar?
Bears and Bengals, Gar.
Bengals.
All right. Texans.
I said that fucking 3 minutes.
He
ago.
did. I'm sorry.
Listen.
No, he did. Texans and the Browns.
I think this one is hands down the Browns.
Yeah.
They're 0-1. There's no way they start 0-2. They're good, too good of a team. They're home opener.
Yep.
And the Texans are a fucking disaster.
They won last week. But
but they're still a mess.
I hear you, Gar. I hear you.
All right. I actually agree. 94% of the population agrees too, apparently. The Rams take on the Colts. The Colts, by the way, Hard Knocks. in season Hard Knocks. I'd never watched an episode of Hard
They're
Knocks.
doing in season.
In season, and it's with the Colts.
I thought that was Dallas was doing that.
Nope, they announced it last night.
So when's it start?
November it airs.
I got
So what are they covering?
So they're
the
probably
first
already
4
they're
weeks?
probably already filming it. Yeah.
What are they covering? Like the first 4 weeks or something?
I don't know.
So that's something you got to tune into.
No, it's
Fuck
not.
that.
Fuck
Carson.
Wentz. I'm not
Fuck
fucking
Wentz,
watching
fuck
any of it.
Reich.
And hope the fucking Rams break his ACL again.
No, I don't.
You're
No,
right.
just
You're
stay. Just play
All
7%.
right, well, I'm taking the Rams to win.
Just playing.
I'm in the minority here. I took the Colts.
No, Carson Wentz gets fucking 4 sacks. Looks terrible.
He's never lost 6 straight starts in his career.
Oh,
Apparently
it's
he's
Carson,
lost.
It's Carson Wentz.
Apparently, he's lost 5 before,
Yeah.
so that's good.
It's Carson Wentz.
Bills, Dolphins. Bills are 0-1. Dolphins 1-0.
I went.
I think the Bills get their win here.
I did, but also I'm going back.
Oh shit!
I'm going back to where, like I said, the Bills take a step back this year. It's on the road. The Dolphins are no slouch, but I did take the Bills.
The
Mm.
Bills.
But I would not be 100% surprised if the Bills started 0-2.
Yeah. How many fucking Bills do you have on your fantasy league?
None.
Josh Allen. Yeah.
No,
Wow.
I got their running back, Zach Moss.
Patriots take on the Jets.
That's
Actually a tough. That's actually a tough game.
That's a
No,
crap.
it's not.
That's a crap game.
No, it's not.
I'm taking Patriots.
Yeah, the Patriots win this all day. The Jets are still the Jets.
Zach Wilson, man.
You know, they might look better offensively, but they're still the Jets.
The Jets are still the Jets hanging out with Benny.
Yeah.
Benny and the Jets.
Penny and the Jets. You're an asshole. What the
That's fucking horrible. Raiders, Steelers. This is a tough one, I think.
That's Steelers all day.
Yeah.
I took the Raiders. The Steelers are like, they eked out that win. They got lucky to win that game last week. Like the
But
Steelers.
that's what the Steelers are, bro.
Yeah, but that offensive line is fucking terrible. That the Raiders got a very good pass rusher. That white dude, what's his name? Max Strong or something.
I'm taking the Raiders as well.
Yeah, I like the Raiders.
That's Steelers.
We're in the
defense.
minority, by the way. It's 24% of the picks have gone towards the Raiders. Saints go to Carolina, take on the Panthers.
Saints start 2-0. They the hands down they win that game.
The Saints.
I'm taking the Panthers.
Really?
I don't know why. I don't know why.
Just a feeling.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Lattimore's out.
Yeah.
That's huge for Mr. DJ Moore. I think he scores twice. I think this is a big game for the Panthers. I think it's coming out party.
Lattimore, the guy that they just signed to a big time
Yep,
contract.
he's out.
Yeah,
He might be out this week. He's banged up. They said he's going to be a game time decision. Denver goes to Jacksonville. Denver 1-0, Jacksonville 0-1. What do you think?
I'm taking.
Peterson said the Steelers beat the Raiders by 10.
Lawrence is going to be a phenomenal quarterback in this league, but not yet.
I hear you. Like
not yet.
even last week, he threw 3 touchdowns, but he threw 3 picks.
Right. So he's still got to learn. He's a lot to learn.
Right, but even Peyton Manning threw 28 picks in his rookie year. A lot of people seem to forget that. I'm taking the Broncos.
Yeah.
Again, Lawrence might throw for 350 yards, but I think he turns it over a couple times, and I think the Broncos.
Lawrence needs a little more. He needs more weapons. He needs to learn.
He needs a year to learn the NFL.
Yeah.
Right.
I go to Denver. Minnesota travels to Arizona. Wow, I can't believe the percentage on this. What are your picks?
Cardinals.
I like Arizona as well.
92% of the people are picking Arizona or Minnesota. That's fucking nuts
That's
to me.
because Minnesota is Minnesota. They're going to start 2-4 and then make a push for the playoffs at the end of the year. And then Kirk Cousins will have a game where he throws 3 picks and it'll fuck it
so
up.
then
for
why
him.
is everybody against Kyler? Okay,
Kirk Cousins is a douchebag.
all right. Atlanta goes to Tampa Bay.
Come
Holy
on, man.
shit! Yeah,
I can't believe
we'll
that-
skip.
I can't believe there's been 1% that picked fucking Atlanta.
There is 1%. Yeah, you see
Tom
that too.
Brady might throw for 5 fucking touchdowns in this game.
Dallas goes to
689.
Yeah.
Dallas goes to LA to take on the Chargers.
I like Dallas to win the game, but I think this is like a 38-34 type.
I
game.
hope it is.
I think Dallas wins the stats here, but they lose.
I hope it's a high scoring affair.
Yeah, you think the Cowboys start 0-2?
Yes.
A lot of players in this for me for fantasy wise. I'm gonna go Dallas. I think Dallas.
There's a lot of drama and bullshit still going on with that team. Man.
I think Dallas wins this. So
Yo, did you hear the thing with Dak Prescott? He is scheduled every 2 weeks to have an MRI on his shoulder.
Like
yep,
that-
I heard that.
That's a problem.
Yeah, so apparently it's not right, and he threw for 447
Yeah,
yards last
right.
week.
Right.
The guy I wanted the Eagles to pick instead of fucking Carson Wentz.
What? No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
You didn't even
Dak-
know him,
I know
Garrett.
who Dak Prescott was.
Right.
He was picked in the
I
fourth.
remember talking about that draft. You didn't even know him.
Moving on.
He's picked in the fourth round.
All right, next fucking question. Next question.
Who did you want at number 2?
Who cares? Just next question.
Shut the fuck up!
No, I ain't gonna shut the fuck up.
He's picked in the 4th round.
Who cares?
The
He's
Titans.
better than Carson Wentz.
He is better than Carson Wentz, but you didn't want him.
The Titans or the Seahawks. Who wins? Titans are 0-1. Seahawks are also 1-0.
I'm going. The Seattle's a hard place to play. No way the Titans start 0-2. I think Ryan Tannehill is a lot better this week. I think Derrick Henry's a lot better this week. Seattle's defense is not what it once was. I think Tennessee goes in there and wins a hard-fought game.
Seattle's as a whole is not what they once were.
Yeah.
I hope Tannehill throws 4 fucking touchdowns.
Yeah, because he's on your fantasy team.
And I hope Derrick Henry scores 1.
Yeah,
Because I'm playing against him, but I have him in another one. That's fucking brutal.
yeah,
It's
I
the
like-
worst.
I like the Titans here.
Yeah, I do too. Sunday night, we
Game
got
of the week
the Chiefs Ravens
in Baltimore.
in Baltimore. Chiefs going to Baltimore.
It's hard to believe. I'm taking the Chiefs here, obviously, but it's hard to believe
91%.
that the Ravens are probably going to start 0-2. That's hard to
Yeah.
believe.
I mean, the Chiefs are an easy pick. They're an easy team to say, all right, I like that.
Yeah, it is. Like this is going to be a game, but the Chiefs has the X factor in fucking Patrick Mahomes. This dude's fucking from another planet. But yeah, I think it's a high scoring affair. I think it's an entertaining game.
They're
But
very-
but when it gets to the end, I think the Chiefs win.
and the Chiefs are a well coached team.
Yeah. So are the Ravens. They are. Like John Harbaugh's a good coach.
Yeah.
But I just the Chiefs have the X factor.
And Monday night, Detroit goes to Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers goes 0-2.
No way.
No, I agree.
No way.
Yeah, I'm going Green Bay.
I think Green Bay pretty much a blowout.
All right, so fantasy, before our guest joins us in a few minutes here, I'm going to get this out of the way. Shark shit, which I have to do. Shark shit week 2. My shark of the week for quarterback, Shark.
Shard is a start, right?
Is Ryan Tannehill against Seattle. I think we just talked about it. Tannehill had a kind of a week last week.
So you're saying Tannehill shits the bed?
No, Shard is the start of it.
Shard is a start. Shit is a sit.
Yeah. All right. You got it? Tannehill is a Shard of the week. He's going to do well. All right. Shard. He's going to make a mess.
But
Actually,
a shard is a wet fart.
Yeah.
Who wants to do that?
Yeah, but a shit is like, oh no.
No.
A
What,
shart-
shit in your
You know what?
pants?
Hold on.
Shit in your pants
here-
isn't worse than sharting?
Yeah,
Hold on.
you fart and you lay it wet and it's fucking shit.
That is the worst.
It is.
It's
Hold on.
after a cup of
But-
coffee. It's
but here it
8:30 in
is.
the morning.
Yeah.
You get a whole day to go yet. Now you got to walk around your asshole. Gets
You gotta find a public toilet, get rid of the underwear.
But here it is. A shark you keep with you and a shit you let go. All right? There you go. All right?
Yeah, the short stays with you, the shit you let go.
A shark's fucking terrible.
All right.
All
There's
right,
my shark.
quarterback, my shart. That's a start, right?
Yes.
I hate to say it because I'm going to get, but I think Justin Herbert's the shart of the week. Against the Dallas defense, I think he puts up big numbers this week.
All right. Shark of the week for a running back.
Derrick Henry.
It's actually a good one. All right. I can't
Derrick Henry.
can't disagree with that. I'm gonna go with Kareem Hunt against Kansas City only because I think that Chubb gets a lot of rest. They did that last year. I know. I don't have a Today Junior on here. Today Junior. I've been doing it all week.
So what, you don't think Chubb plays much?
No, I think he does. I think they split.
Chubb.
But I think Hunt plays a lot of the
But
second.
Chubb gets a touchdown.
Does that remind you of your
Yeah.
16 with a heart on? You got a Chubby.
As long as Chubb gets a touchdown.
Yeah. Chubb got a touchdown. Yeah.
You got a Chubby.
But I like Hunt. Hunt
All right.
this week.
What's a
Like-
Chubby?
Hold on, let me say it again. Like Hunt. I
Yeah.
like Hunt this week.
You like Hunt?
Yeah, as long as it ain't Mike.
Like Hunt.
You like Hunt?
Mike Hunt.
Yeah, who do you like?
Sending a box of dicks.
My start of the week was actually, I mean, I know how it sounds, but it was last night. If we did the show
Oh,
previously,
that's fine. Yeah.
it was McKissick. I felt like he was going to put up something. He put up like
20.
23 points or something.
There's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So JD McKissick was my start of the week for running back.
All right, that's cool.
Nice.
My running back,
We just did running back.
receiver, either Tyler Boyd or Jamar Chase against Chicago. They're gonna air it out. They're gonna air it out against the Bears. I like either one of them this week.
Is ready for mine?
Yeah.
Jalen Rager against the 49ers.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'm good
Yes.
with that. I can't argue with it.
No.
I mean, I think Rager could be a sneaky play this week.
My start of the week this week is Nelson Aguilar
Mm.
going against the Dolphins.
Yeah. I like him too.
He's not their like on paper number one, but he's their number one receiver.
Yeah, but he's a guy that can get it secretly. He's a guy that'll get a big game.
Yeah. So Nelson Aguilar is my start of the week for wide receiver.
Tight end for me is Robert Tunyon against Detroit. Tunyon is pretty
You just
quiet.
took mine. You just took mine.
Yeah, Tunyon is yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that he puts up decent points this week.
Another one that I'm thinking of. Okay, since Sean took Tanya, I'll say Noah Fant. Noah Fant might have a big game this week. Denver's going against we just went over.
I actually like Fant this week. Yeah.
I forget that we just went over, but Noah Fant. The matchup is favorable.
I like Kittle against the Eagles.
That's
Oh,
not a bad
yeah.
play.
Yeah.
It's not a bad play.
All right, so shits of the week. Jimmy G against the Eagles. I don't like Jimmy Garoppolo at all this week. I think he has a tough week.
My shit of the week for quarterback, Matt Ryan. Do not start him against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Really?
Yeah, no way.
Yeah,
No, that game's a blowout.
it could be, yeah. Especially the way they look last week.
All right.
That's interesting.
You got one?
Yeah, Garoppolo against the Eagles.
Yeah. Running back. Shit of the week. Mike Davis against the Buccaneers.
Right.
Everybody's all about Mike Davis. Mike Davis. Get out of here with that shit. You guys can draft him all you want. I am not a Mike Davis fan. Again, I understand he's starting a running back, so I get it. I get why you have him rostered, but I don't know, man. I'm not a believer in Mike Davis. I wasn't a believer in him last year. Now I'm good. I'm good on Mike Davis.
I'll say the guy that runs for the Raiders. What the fuck is his name?
Shit.
Jacobs.
Yes.
He might not play anyway, but I hear you. But he might not play. He didn't practice today.
Yeah.
He didn't practice yesterday either, so he might not play anyway. But I hear you, bro. Against the Steelers, that's a good defensive line. Yeah.
All right. Jordan, are you on the line? Oh, hold on a minute. Jordan, can you hear us? Can't hear him.
No.
Hold on 1 second. Jordan, are you there? Cannot hear him.
Jordan.
May have to go to the video, dude.
He's trying to call again. Jordan, you there? I cannot.
Yeah, he's not connected.
No, are you there, sir?
Is it me or you guys?
Ah, there
There
you
you
are.
go.
I can hear you.
Welcome to the show, Jordan.
How are you? Just lost him again. What the fuck is going on here? We just lost him. Jordan, you there?
I'm still here.
We can hear you. There you are. Okay, cool. So on the
Am I
lines.
gonna get-
Yeah.
Yes. We'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
good. I think we're good now. I think we're good. Jordan
Okay.
Skopp of Foul Ball Safety Now has just joined us on the air.
Welcome.
How are you?
Good evening, everyone.
Yes.
Good evening.
Yeah, man. Thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you for having me. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. So I am incredibly intrigued to have you on because we have several questions for you tonight. And for those who don't know, so Jordan is joining us tonight. He's basically an advocate for safety for baseball fans. If you've been to a game this year, chances are you've noticed that there are a change. There's a little bit of a change where the nets are now instead of just being behind home plate, they go down the lines, first and third base lines to about almost the outfield, into the outfield, but almost to the where the cutout where the ball girl or ball boy are. And Jordan's been a big advocate of that, and Jordan has a book coming out, and I'm really intrigued to see how this all transpired because I got to be honest, I have two young kids, and we were granted really decent seats, and it made me feel a little bit safer to have them in the stands without having to worry about every single pitch. And I never thought about that until I had kids, because I was a teenager. I always brought my glove to the game. I was always ready and eager, Now I have kids, and now I have to watch after them as well. And I'm really curious to see how this whole thing transpired. And if you don't mind us telling about your website as well.
Sure. So yeah, I appreciate you having me on. Sean, is it? And who's the other gentleman?
So it's Ryan and Gary on as well.
Oh, wait, we have three gentlemen on?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
What's
All
up,
right.
Jordan? I'm Ryan.
This is Gary. How you doing?
Hey, Gary. Awesome. And you grew up being a Philly fan, or you were from the? I noticed. Where are you from? You mentioned what stadium you had gone to.
Yes.
You broke up.
Yes. So all of us are Phillies fans. We all grew up actually at the Vet, and then obviously Citizens Bank Park. So yeah.
Sure.
The vet, the
I
shithole of
can
the
get
city.
into Dwayne Sower a little bit with you. He was at a Philly game a number of years ago, but let's get into this. Why I got involved. Just being a baseball fan for many years, and just being aware of the risks, and having some reminders, flirting with danger a few times, thinking, "Wow, this could happen." And then in 2019, when the little girl got slammed in Houston, you remember the one incident where Almora? Yeah. So that was one of those incidences that really triggered me into getting involved. A year or two earlier, there was that incident with the Jacobson girl at Yankee Stadium, which was also very big. But it wasn't really on my periphery at the time. I just, some reason I may have missed it, or I was tuned out of baseball for a month, whatever it was. But that also got a lot of publicity. But that was the incident that got me involved. The few times that I had flirted with danger was one time in New York when I was at a Brooklyn Cyclone game by Coney Island, where the Cyclones had been playing. And it was in the early years of the Cyclones and the beginning of the 2000s. I was with a group of people out on the street, and we're standing outside on Surf Avenue, and the ball comes flying outside of the stadium from behind home plate. Minor league stadiums have those lower heights, and the balls come flying out into parking lots or streets. In this particular case, it was on the street without any notice, and it hit the young person we were with in the forearm, and it left a big welt. And I was like, well, that's kind of bizarre. There's no plan in place for balls that come outside the stadium. People are walking, whether you're going to the game or just walking down the street. And then another time in 2006, one time I had really amazing seats for a playoff game, Mets Cardinals game 6, which they ended up winning, and then they lost game 7, which was a famous Andy Chavez catch, but they ended up losing to the Cardinals. Don't remind me. But we all have those. But I paid a lot of money because that was the only one seat I could find. And I'm sitting next to celebrities like Jerry Seinfeld. But the whole time while I was at the game, I was like, I don't know how people can do this all the time. At that time, there were no nets at all above the dugouts. So I was nervous throughout, excited but nervous. And at the website, Foul Ball Safety Now, I have a young person who did a production, what happened in Tampa Bay, and I think 2014, also right before the nets were above the dugouts. It shows the ball going in between the two guys, and if it went 6 inches one way or the other, that would have been the end of baseball in Tampa Bay that year, period, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
It would have been the most bloody graphic shot ever caught on camera. But it just shows that we're still playing, with inches. Even a home run ball hit the other day, 3 weeks ago. If you guys want to check it out, Giancarlo Stanton hit a home run. And it was the short porch in right field at Yankee Stadium. And it hit the boy right in between the eyes and the head. And he was fine because we would have heard about it in a bigger way if he was not fine. But it left his bat at 106 miles per hour. And the Yankees short porch, similar to the Philadelphia bandbox, don't get me started, balls leave the ballpark in a second. And when you hit it to right field at Yankee Stadium. And maybe it hit his head at 94 miles per hour by the time it got there. I don't know. But check out the video if anyone's listening, which of course you are. Giancarlo Stanton, Angel Hernandez, CBS Sports. I think it was August 21, 2021.
Wow.
I think Angel Hernandez, the umpire that we all love to hate for whatever reason, he gave the fans were calling for Angel Hernandez to give the kid a ball. Almost kill him, but give him the ball. He lived. He could have the ball.
Yeah, right.
But I want to say I'm kind of I am kind of relaxed about this matter at this stage of the game. I've tried to be the guy that's brought the common sense to the table. I hired a publicist from November till June and got a lot of media, but from non-baseball media, it wasn't the baseball journalist. I'm sure at any Philly game or any Met game, you got 10, 15 guys working full time. They've all gone to journalism school. And in my mind, they haven't done what they should have been doing for 50 years. Certainly since Alan Fish died, who was 14 years old at the Dodger game.
Yeah,
he died inside the stadium when he was 14, a young man.
Yeah, absolute shame. It was very sad to see that, and it's unfortunate that happened. I mean, and not to change the subject, but hockey games. Hockey games are the same thing. There was an unnerving feeling when you were sitting right below. They had nets behind the goaltender, but that's it. I mean, it wasn't down the sides.
It was up a certain height, and then in 2002, the young lady in Columbus unfortunately got killed, and shortly after, or maybe when the next season had started, they really raised the net behind the net, from all the way around, all from the whole back of the net area.
Yeah, nobody.
So that was commendable.
Yeah, and nobody goes to a game and says, I'm going to pay $100 for a ticket, and I hope I get hit in the face with a foul ball. Nobody wants to.
Good point.
Nobody wants to go and spend that kind of money because you want the good seats, but you also don't want to be on the edge of your seat the whole time. And it was the truth. Like back in the day, like I used to go. I still do. I go to spring training games. A lot. Yeah. And even before they started to extend the nets, and I haven't been to one since they've extended the nets from home plate down.
Is that Clearwater?
Yes. Yeah. I'll go to Clearwater since 1999. I've been there. Probably 18 in the last 20 years, and maybe not quite, maybe 7, whatever, close to that. Okay. But there was, you couldn't take your eye off the game. I mean, you weren't sure if if there was a left-handed hitter up, he's a little late on it, it's coming your way. And we've had a couple close calls, and again, this is something that I have kids, young
Yep.
kids.
Yep.
If I take
Yep.
my young kids down there, which is going to
Yep.
happen at some point soon, I do feel a little more comfortable knowing that there's a net and protection if I'm sitting 2, 3, 4 rows off the field,
Right.
along the baseline, that they're not going to get hit with a foul ball unless it's a pop up. And if it's a pop up, someone's going to get it. Like, right?
It's not. It's
right. It's not a line drive.
It's not a slam in the face and a
So-
half a sack.
So I don't mean to because you're right. A bat leaves John Color Stanton's bat. A ball leaves John Color Stanton's bat at 100 and what was it? 109.
Well,
miles
this
per hour?
one was 106, and it was actually the most recent one I just found. I haven't been really contesting, nets for behind the fences, but if you see this video, you're going to think twice about bringing your kid to sitting behind the net. It may have reached this kid's head in a second, 330 feet.
So
106, and a science guy may say if it went a half an inch this way, this would have been on Good Morning America the next
Right,
day,
but
the Nets would have been up to second the next after that. I mean, but it's just a debate that hasn't happened. I'm cool with the independent architect and engineer. This is a commercial business. They've been getting away with this for 108 years since the baseball rule was installed. Most people come to the game. They're not studying the back of the ticket or the e-ticket, right? If they ever put that micro print on the scoreboard, families would be like, should I be here with my families?
that is true.
So it really has not heightened the awareness of the fan. So baseball's covered their butt all kinds of ways. Keeping it in micro print, or now on the e-ticket, which you can barely see it and you got to go find it. You'll have to consult with your lawyer, and your lawyer is basically going to say, if you get hit, baseball's not responsible for your injuries and they're not liable.
Right. So as a parent, you make the decision whether you're going to bring your children to the game or not.
One more time, you broke up, my friend.
As a parent, you're going to make the decision whether you bring your children to that game or not. Because everything's in black and white. You're at a risk.
Right. So I don't think Major League Baseball has had PSAs to tell us about assume risk at the ballpark. Like I said, they've kept it in micro print for 108 years. As you said earlier in the show, Sean, most fans are looking at foul balls with fun and catching a ball with a beer or catching a ball with a baby, like a fun, cute thing. Most people don't think foul ball, flirting with danger, or death. If they did, I don't think they'd bring their 4- and 6-year-old.
Right.
That's why I'm looking to create the epiphany of outrage. Once growing families realize what's happening today in the minor leagues, which I haven't gotten into as of yet, and once they realize they brought their growing families to an arena or a ballpark where they were part of a week, where they could have been part of a weekly or a bi-weekly discussion to a trip to the emergency room, they'll think again. They'll say, maybe we were having good times under false pretenses, and maybe if we knew in advance about this, we would have been like, wait, they didn't tell us in advance? No, they didn't. You mean they didn't have to? No, they really didn't. They just had it in a little micro print, and it barely went into your imagination that was a possibility.
Well, Jordan, that's interesting because I went to a Trenton Thunder game. Maybe I think it was 2 years ago. I took our son was there, and we had seats behind home plate, and even though we had the net, I mean there was a lot of balls flying around there. So to get onto the minor league thing, because minor league games ultimately you're very close to the action. So what differentiates between the minor league and the major league games for you?
Sure. So what I did in 2020 and then 2021. In 2020, before we shut down with COVID, spring training was opened, and I called all the spring training facilities. I called, including Clearwater. I connected with all of them. And at the time, 16 of the 30 MLB teams in the Grapefruit and the Cactus League in Arizona and Florida, 16 out of 30 were hosting games with no nets past dugouts. It may have been 23 or 24 ballparks altogether. Some of the teams share. But the 16 teams that were hosting out of the 30 were hosting home games with no nets past dugouts. Manfred's been saying things for years. He said something in 2019, December 2019, implying major changes for 2020. You'll see significant improvements of many teams will be putting the nets all the way down to the foul pole and other things. So what did I do in 2020? I conducted my own phone survey, and I found out what I found out. Then I called in 2021. I called nearly 100 minor league ballparks. The minor leagues were reduced a little bit from 160 to 120.
Right.
Actually,
yeah,
not
right.
reduced. That's a lot. It's actually 25%. But it was reduced greatly. But still, 120 affiliates of the major leagues. Major leagues are paying the salaries of these minor league players. I made my calls. I asked simple questions, learned a few things. First, I learned that at least 42 out of the nearly 100 box offices I connected to, you can check on my website on the minor league report, Foul Ball Safety Now, at least 42 planned on hosting games this year in 2021 with no nets past end of dugouts. Where did that little girl get crushed in 2019? Past the end of the dugout. I also found out something worse. The worst offender of them all was Peoria, Illinois, which is an affiliate of the Cardinals. And they were actually hosting games at the beginning of this year. They told me the nets were on order, if you want to believe that. The nets were on order, but they still were operating their business without nets over the dugout. In 2021, the Peoria Chiefs started their season and may be ending their season with no netting at all above the dugouts.
That
Please,
boggles
everyone,
my
check
mind.
out that Tampa Bay video. Check out
Wow.
that Tampa Bay video that I have up on the website, which shows what happens when the ball comes 6 inches this way.
As a
around.
franchise, how are you not doing everything you can to make it safe for your fans?
I'm doing what I can. I actually even rented an airplane and I towed a banner. We got local eyewitness news over there on 2 occasions. That was interesting in a couple of articles.
Just don't have Holiday as the pilot.
What's that?
What did you say?
Just don't have Roy Halladay as your pilot.
Oh,
Yeah, that was controversial. That's a sad story. And I also rented a airplane over the Field of Dreams game a little over a month ago.
oh no! Oh, awesome, cool.
Yeah, because it said Field of Screams, Nets, Foul Ball Safety Now. Just trying to bring awareness to the website to say it's time. You know, this fantasy that they're staging in Iowa, all those people that have been named, and there's about 5 or 6 people that keep on coming back to my virtual Zoom calls, and that's Erwin Goldblum, whose wife was killed at the Dodger game.
Yes. Yep.
And a few other people, actually 2 teenagers, who one was 4 and one was 10, were both slammed and inches from death. One has a long-term attention deficit order, neurological, and the other one, fortunately, is a little bit better. That's including Erwin, and they've come to the press conferences. But it's really about getting these folks' mission statements out there. I believe next year, if I can meet this goal, then we've done a good deal at Foul Ball Safety Now, which is they plan on hosting this game next year, again in 2022, this game in Dyersville, Iowa. But I want the citizens in Dyersville, Iowa, to say, don't stage your fantasies here until you make right with all those victims. And you know how these victims feel? I'll tell you how they feel. A lot of them who are hurt, including one lady by the name of Jenny, who lost her eye at Shea Stadium off the bat of Steve Henderson. And funny story, or not so funny story, when she was in the hospital, she got visited by Joel Youngblood, who was also a vet for a while.
Oh yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah. So Joel Youngblood, when Jenny was 14 years old and in the hospital with an eye that no longer is functioning or was taken out, she said to him, "Where's Steve Henderson?" And they sent me instead. And she was quoted, and she's going to be in my book. I won't give you her last name for the moment, but her last name is in the book. And yeah, when the book comes out and there's many eyeballs that are ready to read, I'm excited to share all names, including a couple of ESPN reporters who talked to me. There's so many people inside the game. But getting back, that probably need to be addressed, this question, the double standard, because players tell their own families to sit in certain sections. We need to survey the broadcasters and the baseball writers and expose the double standard, because they don't tell you honestly when you're watching the game, oh, if that poor schnook gets hurt, he's not even covered for his medical. They don't do that. They don't tell you that, unfortunately. But in the matter of Jenny, it has long-term damage. Since 1979, it's been in her life, because when she became a mom, she stressed out. She didn't want her teenager playing, or a young person playing baseball, her young son playing baseball, because it just, the people that have been hurt, they don't get their medical bills paid for. Baseball shuts them down. They're bitter. They don't even turn on the TV anymore, and they won't accept an apology unless it's genuine. But baseball cannot do that. Apology is only genuine if the problem is now fixed, and it won't happen to anyone else. So I believe at Foul Ball Safety Now, based on some independent studies, some good ones I thought, by NBC News and by ESPN, well, the NBC News one in particular, they equated 800 plus injuries over 7 or 8 years from 2012 to 2019, but only 4 of the 30 first aid independent contractors complied with the study. So the LA Times guy, I'm glad he broke it down. He said about 4,500 people probably reported to first aid at major league games between 2012 and 2019. I'm not saying they all had busted eyes.
No, but cuts,
nails,
lacerations.
Yeah, whatever it may be. But how many head injuries, concussions, lost eyes? 100, 60, 72, 184.
Right.
Life-changing injuries that we are going to learn about, and hopefully they'll find me a Foul Ball Safety Now. And getting back to the Dyersville game in Iowa, this Field of Dreams game, I hope the Iowa citizens learn what I'm beginning to learn and say, you know what, stage your fantasy someplace else. The good folks of Iowa don't need you to stage a fantasy. You make right with all of those fans. And if that means abolishing the baseball rule and giving these people reparations and giving them some dignity. I called 2 weeks into this campaign, guys. You can check my website at foulballsafetynow.com. I self-published like an article every week from August till November of 2019. And it didn't take me too long to say, no Hall of Fame for the baseball writers, because they're journalists. This is a full-time journalist. Just because you're a baseball journalist doesn't mean you should not report about it. And also no Hall of Fame for you. Don't celebrate yourselves. Enough of this praise ourselves society. And also all owners should be forced to sell the team immediately. I compare baseball to big tobacco. It's on my website. I have a lawyer. I double check everything I'm writing with my lawyer if it's going to be a little bit controversial. But no owner should be entitled to run a team when they know it's not a matter of if, but when. They know it's in the foreseeable near future, whether it could be the next at bat in the Mets-Phillies game tonight, which I don't even want to talk about, or
why not? What's the matter? What's the matter with tonight's game?
Because Zach Wheeler is pitching for you guys.
Yes, he is.
But the Mets had old owners, so
you miss him, don't you? I know you miss him.
Of course. I mean, the guy was rehabbing for like 4.5 years.
Yeah.
And then he started pitching lights out. But the Mets had the same owner, so well, let's not go there. But getting back to that Field of Dreams game, that's what I do hope we need to do. Well, baseball never had integrity, guys. And I'm even taking shots at the players, because look at the website on the Foul Ball report, on the minor league and the major league report. I put all the quotes on top of each other so you can see what players have said, usually in the aftermath. And they stress, and they don't want their own family sitting there. And how about those 5,000 minor leaguers? Also have to bear the burden knowing they could be the next one to do the maiming. But they're not going to blow any whistle. They want to be major leaguers. It's up to guys like Tony Clark, who came before them. He's a union president. Make it right. Do the right thing already, and stop having young kids have to compromise their integrity. They'll tell their own mom and dads, and knock on wood. I mean, I got a couple of minor leaguers to talk to me and go on the record, and I'm not done yet. I will be getting in touch with more minor leaguers when it comes off season. I don't want to talk to these minor leaguers during the season. I don't want to get into their head. It's enough that they're dealing with it, and they tell their own mom and dad, and they probably have a conflict of interest. Whatever. But once the season is over, I'm going to hit these guys up on Twitter and say, now I don't mind getting in your head and making you, go talk to a psychologist. That's crap. Band together and protest. They get paid 2.5 cents an hour.
Well, Jordan, one of our listeners had a good point. He said it's not just foul balls. It's the shattered bats. The shattered bats that are flying into the stands, and I mean, those could
maybe less shattered bats. I mean, there's 53,000 foul balls that go into that are fouled off, and maybe 20,000 of them reach the seats. I maybe there's a 40 or 50 bats that go into the seats, far more than they should be, but we're talking 20,000 to 40 or 50. Right. So I mean, I hear what you're saying. There are shattered bats that go into the seats. I don't know what the number is. It's not my department, but maybe less because.
But the Nets are still helping. I mean, the Nets are helping.
Maybe the bats, Right. But like I said, minor leagues, State of the Union, horrible. 42, at least 42 that I know of. No Nets past dugouts. Little girls get crushed past end up dugouts.
Right.
So status quo in 2021, terrible.
Yeah.
So Jordan, Ryan, Corner Pub Sports, thanks a lot for coming on. This is very interesting. So outside of putting nets all the way around the stadium, because even like you said, the Giancarlo Stanton home run, 106 miles.
I just saw that.
So outside of putting nets all the way around the stadium, which me personally I'd be against, but outside of putting nets all the way around the stadium, like what else could you possibly do here?
Sure.
Like what else are you advocating for outside of that?
How about a first-time discussion and a first-time forum where we all have an opportunity to voice? But it's only this conversation right here, right now. Nobody within baseball is going to ever entertain a town hall kind of deal.
Right.
The last thing they ever want to do.
Right.
So that being said, we could at least raise some questions with a legitimate forum. But right now, I remain the undisputed narrative. And maybe I'll sell a book, but the problem won't be solved. Because I could call it anything we like just to get people thinking, oh, my God, who's this guy saying this about baseball? I'm the guy. Nobody else is disputing me. But, haven't come up with a book title as of yet. But, yes, how about an independent netting council of architects and engineers, right? They just do a field visit to all that, to Citizens Bank, if it's still called that, or Citi Field, if it's still called that, which I think they're both still called. Amazing, huh? Same names for 10 years. But whatever it may be. They come down, they see everything. They tell us how far, how high. They tell us no children should have ever been here. Or you know what? Maybe it's okay to bring children there because the balls come up and the balls go down. But this is above our pay grade, guys. We're just citizens of the baseball world that trying to make some observations here and trying to go common sense one-on-one and try to engage some more folks that are, it's above our pay grade to make these conclusive determinations. But it's certainly worthy of bringing forward to those so-called experts.
Okay,
maybe the pediatrician world may have something to say about it. Maybe the independent engineers and architects from the regulatory agency tells baseball certain things that nobody's ever told them.
So basically, like if I got it right, like what you're advocating for is Major League Baseball to just look into a solution for it as opposed to just kind of brushing it under a rug.
Well, they can't do the solution. They're just as bad as big tobacco. It needs to be somebody needs to come in like a government agency, regulatory agency, say, you guys have been doing this piecemeal thing for the last 5 years. You hadn't done anything prior to that in 100 years. Get the heck out of the way.
Well, it is interesting, Jordan.
This is a commercial business. You don't try to sneak in a fast one on fans anymore. And that's basically what they were doing with the micro print. Imagine if somebody hacked the scoreboard of Citizens Bank Field and put up that microprint on the scoreboard. These families would be like, honey, we're going to customer service. We're out of here. I mean,
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
what they,
yeah.
we'd be heightening people's awareness.
What
Are we worthy of microprint? And maybe they would be saying no kid should have ever been allowed here. It's crusted mud on your face all the way around, guys. That's the legacy of baseball. We can't turn back the clock. Baseball had an opportunity in 1970 to come clean. They could have had an honest discussion. They said the situation with Alan Fish was not every half century. People coming inches away from this kind of thing all the time. We need to do something before the regulatory agencies come in. But guess what? The regulatory agencies still have not come in, and it's a half a century later. So I'm hoping to get families pissed and outraged. I do have 2 petitions at the website, Foul Ball Safety Now, one to repeal the baseball rule, one for more nets. All this stuff could happen. There's been a case in Illinois that's pending. Eddie Rybarski got smacked big time in the face in 2018 in Chicago. And there's a law, a judge is allowing a case to proceed, which is not often. And that's good. And the judge is saying there's a term called willful and wanton. Willful wanton is how it's spelled. And it implies that baseball had prior knowledge that the nets weren't far enough, which I'm saying exactly. So for that, I want willful and wanton to become a household name for all your listeners, and let them, all your listeners, start thinking, I mean, baseball knew they never really went as far as they could go. Yeah, I think so. And that's what the judge is saying in this particular case.
Now, I will say,
Yes.
it is interesting though. It is interesting that hockey made these changes 15 years ago, where they expanded the nets, and baseball just did it this year. Well,
they didn't do anything. They're just doing piecemeal, and there's nothing mandatory about it. It's short in minor leagues. Balls may not travel to 106 every day, but they still travel at 99.
Are there any major league ballparks who have not expanded their nets to the ball, boys or girls?
I think so. If I haven't done this report in a while, and I hadn't spent 6 months on it. I spent a few weeks on each one. The major league report and the minor league report. If you go to the website Foul Ball Safety Now, the major league report, you can see that the fans are not even asking for nets, because only 3 out of the 30 teams really provide any kind of nets or transparency on where the nets are for the seating charts. And even in the minor leagues, when I was making my close to 100 connections in the minors, and I found out that at least 42 had no netting past dugouts, people at the box offices, sometimes I was even speaking to general managers because it was COVID, and you call the local minor league team and whatever state, and you're speaking to the general manager of the team. He's doing everything, or she's doing everything, and they tell you where the nets are. They'll tell you, you're the first person to ever ask me about that. So obviously, 40 million fans are going to minor league games. Maybe that was the last recorded number in 2019. 70 million fans going to major league games. So how many of them are getting? It's not really in our DNA yet. We're not asking for it. We're not demanding it. If we were, all of the 30 teams would have seating charts with netting all throughout the seating charts. And in the minor leagues, I wouldn't be getting more than a few occasions where, oh, you're the first one asking about where the nets are. So families, I believe, have been coming to games under false pretenses. They're thinking foul balls and fun. They're not thinking of foul balls. Am I gambling with my child's life? I don't think anything close to that, because there's no way. And if Children's Services saw that micro print up on the scoreboard, they would have come and they would have gotten the epiphany a half a century ago, because it's sort of been under the radar. It's like nobody sees this micro print.
Right.
And cases don't go anywhere in court, but for the most part, usually you don't make it out of your lawyer's office. Sometimes it'll go into the early rounds of court, and then the judge will say, sorry, folks, can't help you. Plaintiff, you got no case. And then once in a while, like I'm glad this Rybarski thing's happening, when baseball gets nervous, there's a process called discovery. I have a saying. When Manfred took the keys from Selig said to Manfred, who's a very smart lawyer, "You make sure those secrets stay secret. You make sure that door stays shut at MLB headquarters." And that's all the secrets that MLB has never had to share, because it's never gotten to court or discovery where the plaintiff's case proceeded and discovery was revealed, because that's when baseball makes an offer you can't refuse to the plaintiff. So you need the right plaintiff, the right lawyer, and the right judge to go all the way, so discovery will see the light of day. And then again, crusted mud will be shown.
You mean to say that baseball has held secrets from the fans? That has never happened ever.
Exactly. But this is the issue that I'm involved in, and
that's good.
There's going to be some recognition or daggers coming my way, and
of course.
So I got a secret.
So Jordan, I don't want this question to come across the wrong way. I don't want to sound disrespectful at all.
No, of course not.
But it sounds like if I'm getting this right, that you're more interested in the conspiracy of Major League Baseball covering this up as opposed to the true safety of fans.
I don't know. I think they go hand in hand, but I'm interested in it all. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. There's really no agenda. It's just evolving into like Common Sense 101. I've had a couple of baseball writers that basically hung up the phone on me because it's me telling a journalist that they should have been reporting about this for years, and they don't want to hear about it because they don't want to bite the hand that feeds them. Same thing with the broadcasters.
And that's a tough.
Why I say no
that's
Hall
tough.
of Fame for you guys. That's my call.
Yeah, and I can understand it. Like if you call up Jason Stark, who by the way lives like 5 minutes down the road from me here. You call up Jason Stark and you're like, "Hey, Jason, you really got to pin this on, write this in the Athletic, He's gonna be like, dude, I'm getting paid by these guys. So I get that. I do understand.
Yeah, it's a tough.
That is a tough pill to swallow.
They're put in a tough spot to truly report what's going on when they're getting paid.
But not one over the years. I mean, Jeffrey
right.
Jacobson's daughter at the Yankee game was, 2 years before the little girl in Houston.
Right.
I mean, this is horrific.
Yeah.
And if families had any clue, at the end of the day, in Japan, it's all about respect and dignity, and they really do things that America does not do. They probably have as many baseball fans, and they have any balls that reach seats in areas that may be somewhat risky, because I don't believe they have very risky exposure, except there are some sections where they call it the excitement seats, and they will allow probably only adults to sit in sections. They provide you a glove and a helmet. And maybe you sign a waiver that if your face comes off, that's your call.
Yeah.
But I think that's the way it should have been forever here in America. And no kids should have been brought by their families. And, it's a double standard. I'd love to survey Costas or Rosenthal or Passan or any of these guys and just say to them, on an elevator and on the airplane, and they would be like looking to get out of there. That Jordan, I can't sit next to you no longer, because it make them think about the double standard.
Right.
Passan was on PBS shortly after that little girl got hurt, and he said all the right things. And it should be up to another agency telling us where the Nets need to go. But that's very short-lived. It's only like in the aftermath. Why isn't he circulating some real discussion about this? Why isn't ESPN hosting a town hall? At the website, ESPN produced something amazing, actually in line with what I'm trying to do with foul ball safety. They produced a 5-minute video, probably cost them $50,000 or $100,000 to produce. But for 2 years, for the first few months, it was great. 750,000 views, 4,300 engagements. But the 18 months after that, it's not being promoted anymore. I spent more than $1,000 on that video to promote it. I wanted to find a viewing audience again, because why wasn't ESPN promoting it? I think they got a little flack from MLB. MLB probably said, all right, you did it. It's done. Now, please don't continue to promote it. And out of those 4,300 comments, guys, you can check 80% of the fans are still naysayers on Nets, and they're still blaming the person for not paying attention. And management perpetuates that as well, saying, oh, we have signs up, or you need to watch your kids. You can't, that little kid can get out of the way of that 106-mile-an-hour ball if his daddy was sitting next to him at the Yankee game, and that was 300-something feet away. It comes at you probably in a second, 106 miles an hour. And we're talking about foul balls past the end of nets. I mean, come on, man. I'm just like, so I'm kind of fed up with baseball. I'm even calling for no Hall of Fame for players. I know. But still, they
Right.
never, Tony Clark and the union knows what the 5,000 minor leaguers are going through. And they know that they don't care about their souls. They don't care that these guys are wrestling with their consciences every day. Nobody wants to be the one to do the maiming. That's why I don't blame Almora. If the team psychologist was really doing his job, the night Almora slammed that little girl, he said, dude, don't be pissed at yourself. This is all of us. We're in a dysfunctional situation here, man. You got two options, man.
Right.
You quit, because I wouldn't blame you if you did, or you get together with your brothers and don't play the next day. That's all I got for you as a psychologist.
No.
But if they understand the game, what can they tell you? That's what they can tell you. Now, if Almora was all alone with it, then shame on everyone in that organization.
So Jordan, you have a book coming out. We have a little bit of time left here.
I appreciate that.
No, we
Thank
appreciate.
you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So
that was
you
great.
have a book coming out. You don't have a title for it yet. You've been working on it for a little while.
Yeah, no, I'm still collecting stories, and I feel like since I don't have much such social media as of yet, listen, I got some great earned media.
Just
I hired a
toss the
publicist from November
panties.
till June of 2021, right? I had 8 months of publicity from non-baseball journalists, or maybe some of them covered sports, but none of them were beat writers, as far as I remember. But People Magazine, LA Daily News, LA Times, Boston Globe, some good mentions, but still does not move the needle. We're not on the front page of any news magazine kind of thing. Sports Illustrated.
You got a tight little man pussy on you, don't you?
Down on this guy, Matt Martell. He interviewed me. He interviewed some of the people I introduced him to. I'm grieving with his editor as we speak. We have a meeting next week to say, why wasn't I even mentioned? Why didn't they give me 7 words in the 5,200 words? Please check out the article, August 10th, 2021. I was hoping that this was going to be the one to put foul ball safety in this discussion in the people's minds. Now, yes, this article was about foul balls, and there are some good points in there, but I'm not going to get into it with you. That could be for another show on some of the things that they discussed, but for all that want to read it, I think I should have been mentioned. We're still working on getting some mention in the digital space on that article, because I think the communities who are reading this should know that I was the guy who contradicted Manfred in 2019 when he made this statement about significant change and improvements. I called them out in 2020.
I say that's enough.
16 out of 30 teams were still hosting spring training without no nets past dugouts and minor league ballparks. And Matt and Sports Illustrated mentioned that the minor leagues had issues. They didn't go into it at all. And that in itself should be worthy of front page of some sort of Sports Illustrated kind of cover. That the minor leagues, nobody cares about the fans over there. They certainly don't care about the emotional well-being of young folks who tell mom and dad to sit behind the nets. But what are these young players, 5,000 players, going to do? They're all going for the 600 or 700 jobs. They're not going to blow the whistle. They're not going to put their bat down at home plate and walk away and do something on minor league this week in baseball. Anyone watches minor league baseball? But whatever. They're not going to do anything like that. They want to be major leaguers. And I understand it. And that's why Tony Clark and the union and these guys that are multi-zillionaires should be saying enough. We went through it as young minor leaguers 20 years ago. We're going to end this. We're going to end it now. And they don't do that. So, yeah, more on that anytime. And, happy to come back or please invite somebody who can represent a different side. So I will not remain the undisputed narrative. I'm trying to do things. I'm renting out airplanes. If anyone has expendable dollars, and wants to make a
good for
statement
you.
with me and chip in with me on the next airplane rental, please do.
Give me
It
a
costs a few
ticket for an
$1,000s to make a
airplane.
statement like that.
Right. Well, Jordan, we thank you so much. Check out Foul Ball Safety Now. It's .com, right? Correct. Foulballsafetynow.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
And then when Jordan's book, Jordan Skopp, Skopp, his book comes out, be on the lookout for that, and he'll be bringing you awareness to the issues around the major and minor league ballparks as far as fan
it's
safety goes.
opportunities like this that are so important. And thank you so much for having me. And fans, I certainly am looking forward to.
You! I'm trying to help you,
baseball fans to
motherfucker.
engage with me. If you know anyone who's been hit by a foul ball, or if you want to share a story off the record, on the record, I am working with a writer. Hired done for the sake of clarity. It's all good. So he's helping me with the book, but he's also helping me conduct professional interviews. But I'm happy to have a first one-on-one call anytime. Just go to foulballsafety.com.
Fuck with my ass, man. Shit.
We thank you so much, Jordan, for joining us tonight.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you again.
All right, you take care, sir. All right. All right, we're going to move on.
Where do you get a whiff for that? Ooh, that's rough.
Never have we done that before, by the way, but that shit.
What?
The sound effects.
Well, that's because we had enough.
All right.
Like, shut the fuck up.
If
Shut up, you motherfucker, you.
Shut the fuck up!
if you're looking for jewelry, oh god damn, dude. Dude, that fart stinks.
Yeah, that's what I think of that interview. What are you smoking? Take a whiff for that, bro.
If you're looking for jewelry for your wife,
Damn.
girlfriend, side piece, check out Banny Jewelry, BANNI jewelry.com.
Or whatever the fuck.
Use the promo code CornerPub25. You get 25% off your order. You can get necklaces and
There you go.
It's a whole
earrings,
conspiracy.
rings, rings, whatever you want. BannyJewelry.com, BANNI jewelry.com, CornerPub25, 25% off your order.
I make love to you, but I got a soul, Joan.
Man, I don't know what to fucking say. Like, I feel bad, but
No, you don't.
enough's enough.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Oh my god, that was fucking brutal.
Yeah, like that's worse than listening to the wife.
All right, we're gonna have some fun right now. All right. Oh wait, hold on. Before we get to Peterson said, "Thank fucking God that's over." Like, enough's enough. Like it's,
Shut up, you self-promoting jetbag, you.
it started off nice, but fuck. I actually had a question I wanted to ask.
Yeah, I don't mean.
I actually did have a question.
So
for
did
him.
I, but
And
I,
the beat goes on and on.
I don't mean to be
on.
disrespectful, but
Sean's playing shit sounds as he's talking.
but he's completely more interested in the conspiracy than safety.
Brian, when you were upstairs going to the bathroom, he played. You got a nice little man, pussy.
He's like, so this poor little kid. I was like,
Oh, good for you.
Giggity, giggity, giggity.
oh, yeah, I missed it. Never mind. Forget it.
Who cares?
All right, it doesn't matter.
Fucking
All right.
Skopp. What's his last name?
Stop.
I didn't say nothing. I'm just asking his last name.
It was stop.
All right.
I still listen back. Oh, I can't wait for my parents. I want my whole family to listen to that.
Yeah, let them
In the
listen.
middle, I was like, yeah, so this one kid was hit by a foul ball.
You remember that girl's name? She got hit by a foul ball. You got a nice little man pussy.
You got a tight little man pussy on you, don't you?
It stinks.
All right, let's move on. Come on.
But there was, dude, I'm telling you right now, the people who download this show and have no idea that they call the game.
You know how many views the dude might get us?
It stinks.
Dude has a huge following, man.
Yeah, but that interview was terrible. It was awful.
It wasn't.
That wasn't terrible.
No, it was fine. I was interested. I was really interested. I feel like a piece of shit.
Right. Like, you got to stop this. Let's move on.
I feel like
I've rented a plane. That's okay. As long as I have Halliday as your pilot.
he's like, yeah, that was a tragedy. You know what else was a tragedy? The 14-year-old boy got hit in the face with a foul ball. Like, yeah, it was 15 years ago.
Brian, you're irritated.
No. Let's just move on from it.
I am. That was 45 fucking minutes too long.
Yeah,
I feel bad. Like, I get
No,
it.
you don't.
No, I do. I get it. And he's going for a good cause, but
the good right. It is a good cause. It is a good cause.
Jesus
For the
Christ.
wrong reasons.
It's
But-
20 minutes of good calls, not 45 and 50 minutes long.
But he's also more worried about his brand than the actual
Right,
safety.
that's why I said.
Just toss the panties.
All right, so fuck you, Ben.
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 Fuck you,
Where the
Ben.
fuck you been?
Where the fuck you been?
In the basement with your mother.
Eric Desjardins is
Oh,
my
nice
fuck
one.
you, Ben.
Good
Yeah,
call.
Eric Desjardins, all time.
He's one of the best defensemen the Flyers ever had.
So he won the Stanley Cup in 1993 with the Montreal Canadiens, and then was headlined.
He was part of the Leclerc trade, right?
Right. So so he was basically traded. Well, first of all, before we get to that, while he was with Montreal in Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals, he scored all 3 of Montreal's goals as a defenseman against the Kings.
Yeah.
When they hit Wayne Gretzky, by the
He
way.
had a rocket of a shot, man.
It was also the game was also marked by Marty Masurda's illegal stick penalty.
Oh shit, that was that
Yep.
same game.
And
Yeah.
that game completely turned the series in Montreal's favor. In
Yeah.
1995, Desjardins was traded to the Flyers with Leclerc and Gilbert Dion in exchange for Mark Recchi, a third-round pick, who ended up becoming Mark Honenberger, which so basically became Recchi for those two. And he was the face of the fucking Flyers defense. He won 7 Barry Ashby trophies in his time here, and were annually given to the Flyers top blue liner. He made a couple All-Star teams. He was 396 points, second all-time Flyers defenseman. Fantastic. Desjardins became the captain once Lindros was stripped from the captainship from his complaints about the Flyers medical staff in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
They did not offer him a contract in 06, so then he was going to resign with Montreal, but they decided to retire. He now runs his own business. I'm sorry. I forgot the most important part. January 11th, 2007, before the Flyers played the Canadiens, which is fitting, they honored him and presented gifts, and then they retired his number a couple years later. So Eric Desjardins is, absolutely one of the Flyers' all-time best defensemen.
Absolutely.
All time,
He's one of the all-time great Flyers.
All time.
Like there's a few players that were on that era of the Flyers. It's Desjardins, Leclerc, and I don't care what anybody says, Lindros is one of the best Flyers ever.
I love Lindros, man.
And another one,
You're forgetting about the whole Legion of Doom line.
no, I said Leclerc, I said Lindros, and Michael Renberg. But Michael Renberg's not one of the greatest Flyers ever, though. He was good for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
But also Rod Brindamore, like in that era, like another, like one of the best Flyers ever.
Chris Therrien was great.
Yeah.
Oh, he
For
couldn't
years.
keep his cock in his pants.
No, that was actually Lindros who was fucking his wife. That's why Brindamore got.
Lindros was fucking Brendamore's wife.
That's why Brindamore got traded.
Yeah.
So
Come here, baby.
yeah, there was take your clothes off, baby.
Thank you.
Just toss the panties.
But yeah, that Eric Desjardins,
It stinks.
he's up there as one of the best Flyers defensemen ever, man. He's up there.
Look at Gary. Gary's
You old fat bitch!
You fat bitch!
Bitch! You fat bitch!
Yeah, so Gary's come around a lot lately. Like he's repairing his relationships with the whole family and all. He's really come around. There was a couple years there where it was not good, but he's really come around and repaired relationships with the family. So he stops at the house every week for a visit, and every time he walks in, if my sister Debbie's there, the first thing he says, "You fat bitch!"
you really?
But Debbie cracks up laughing.
Yo, she loves it.
She loves it. But she only loves it when she doesn't see it coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Gary's one, we all love Gary, but Gary's one that'll go on and on with a joke and just keep doing it.
No, he doesn't.
But when it's a surprise and you don't see it coming, my sister cracks up. She loves it.
She'll come in from work, Sean. I'm sitting there with my mom,
Well-
my dad, Brian, my grandma, having coffee. She'll come in from work.
I can't hear you. Can you hear yourself?
As she's walking
There you go.
as she's walking in the door.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, you fat bitch! She'll just drop her shit. You old fat bitch!
That's great. Well, speaking of a good joke,
I am not drunk, man. You're trying to make me drunk.
Yeah,
It's
I
time
am.
to catch up on some things you may have missed.
Do you think a six-pack is acceptable?
Cheeseburger. What's
you're
how you want a cheesesteak?
I'm drunk and I love cats. What more do you need to know?
so while you were drunk, we got to start off with this. It might be the greatest joke of all time. And it's one of the all-time underrated comedians who passed away this week at the age of 61.
Yes.
Norm Macdonald. If you guys didn't hear this before, just sit back and enjoy. This is his appearance on Conan O'Brien.
I know I heard this.
It is
This is priceless.
amazing.
Not all your material comes from the news. Is that right?
No, some of my material my strongest material comes from real life.
Real life?
Like, for instance, today I was driving in a car. You were kind enough to bring a car to bring this old chunk of coal here to the studio.
We send cards for our guests. Yes.
Yeah, so I got in it, and I get material that way. So my
What
driver,
do you mean? How do you get material that way? You get in the car, and what happens?
my driver tells me a joke.
The driver we sent to pick you up told you a joke.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell it now on the show.
Yeah, that's how I get a lot of my material.
Okay. Why don't we just have him on next time?
That guy. That guy. No, wait till you hear me do it. So the guy, he goes, I say, I'll be the guy.
Okay.
A moth goes into a podiatrist's office.
A moth goes into a podiatrist's office. Right?
You are correct. A moth goes into a podiatrist's office, and the podiatrist's office says, "What's the problem?" And the moth says, "What's the problem? Where do I begin, man?" He goes, "I go to work for Gregory Linovich, and all day long I work." Honestly, Doc, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I don't even know if Gregory Linovich knows. He only knows that he has power over me, and that seems to bring him happiness. But I don't know. I wake up in a malaise, and I walk here and there. The podiatrist says, "Oh, yeah?" And the moth goes, "Yes." And he goes, "At night, I sometimes wake up, and I turn to some old lady in my bed that's on my arm. A lady that I once loved, Doc. I don't know where to turn to. My youngest, Alexandria, she fell in the cold of last year. The cold took her down, as it did many of us. And my other boy, and this is the hardest pill to swallow, Doc. My other boy, Gregorio Ivanilitovich. I no longer love him. as much as it pains me to say, when I look in his eyes, all I see is the same cowardice that I catch when I take a glimpse of my own face in the mirror. If only the cowardice was stronger, then perhaps I could bring myself to reach over to that cocked and loaded gun that lays on the bedside behind me. And end this hellish facade once and for all.
How long a drive was this? Do you live in the valley? Where do you live? Please, sorry.
He says, Doc, sometimes I feel like a spider, even though I'm a moth, just barely hanging on to my web with an everlasting fire underneath me. I'm not feeling good. And so the doctor says, Moth, man, you're troubled. But you should be seeing a psychiatrist. Why on earth did you come here? And then the moth said, because the light was on.
This guy, dude, like.
Wife and a waiter. And fucking, dude, Woodson's like, no, man. What the fuck?
Yo, when he was on Weekend Update and he cursed, he said the F word. And then fucking the following week, he's like, note to self, in case I get fired for cursing on the air last week, I'm gonna take this job. I don't even remember what it was, but dude, like he
used to do that in the movie Dirty Work.
Yeah,
that was his big thing in Dirty Work.
Yep.
Oh man, he was fantastic. All right, so while you were drunk, also Ryan Braun, the noble baseball player he was, put out a very nice message to the world that he was retiring after 14 years and that I am so sorry and
fuck you.
I am so sorry this all happened and
fuck you. You got a dude, a regular dude who all he did was transfer fucking the piss samples. Like you take a piss test, all this dude did was transfer them. You got him fired.
He had one.
You got him fucking fired because you failed a test and you thought it was a conspiracy.
Anti-Semitic messages.
Yes. What a fucking scumbag.
You lost some poor schlub, his job, who's trying to provide for his family, to sacrifice your own fucking career because you're a piece of shit. And guess what? You never had the same year you had before steroids.
When you got caught fucking choosing, you were never the same player.
Complete piece of shit. So fuck you, Ryan Braun. Hope the door hits you on the ass. And
fuck with my ass.
Yeah,
hope that
fuck
happens
you,
soon.
Ryan Braun. I gotta say, I don't even remember you being in the league since you got caught juicing.
Yeah.
So I thought you retired 5 years ago.
Lisa Bynington has become the first female play-by-play announcer hired by the Milwaukee Bucks. Congratulations. That is awesome. Yeah. The first female play-by-play in pro sports hired full-time.
I don't think it matters. I really don't think, as long as she knows what she's talking about and she's got the right voice. From
everything I've heard, she knows the game.
Yeah.
And she has a good voice. And it sounds like the majority of the people, of course you're gonna have your haters.
Right.
But the majority of the people are very, very happy about this. Very happy about this. So DeMarcus Lawrence is out indefinitely.
Huge.
With a broken foot.
Huge, man. He's on IR, so you don't know when he's coming. But that's huge for this division.
Yep, big time.
Huge.
So, the Cowboys lose one of their biggest pass rushers.
Their defense already still looks no better than it did last year. And they're losing a bona fide pass rushers. That's huge, man. This division still might be wide open, man.
2 Flyer stories for while you were drunk.
As we're on the Flyers, I don't know if you're bringing this up, but I'm
about to. Yeah,
the Flyers are the second major league, major sports team to be 100% from top to bottom completely vaccinated.
Yep. How about that? Well, how about that?
All office personnel,
the other
all
team
players,
is
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
How about that for the Philadelphia Flyers? Good for them. Major applause for them. I don't give a fuck if you disagree with the vaccination. Then I got words for you. You're a fucking asshole. So I'm just gonna put that out there. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. That's the way I look at it. So I don't care what the fuck your feelings are now. It's FDA approved. Go get your fucking vaccination. Stop being an asshole and go get it. That's the end of that. I did my part. Go fucking do yours. And also with the Flyers. Pretty cool. The fans are up to a vote for the goal song for this year.
Yeah, I haven't heard the songs that they're
doing.
I
know. This is probably all fucking. It's probably like My Morning Jacket and like fucking whatever,
But it's up to the fans.
But it's cool. Like,
it's up to
leave it up to the fans.
For.
So the Fanatic 97.5, the Fanatic here in Philadelphia posts the thing. Fans, blah, blah, blah. The first comment is, "That's why hockey sucks."
That's why hockey's awesome.
What do you mean? That's why hockey sucks. Why does hockey suck?
It's the most interactive sport.
Because the fans are going to pick the goal song. Why does that suck? That's a cool fucking thing.
Right.
How many? I know I'm in the minority on this panel. Did this motherfucker leave?
No, he's fucking.
I know I'm in the minority on this panel.
He might have.
But I'm tired of Rocky being played at the Eagles games.
No, it's
dong on third down. Dong. Like I'm done with that.
Sure, I'm a much bigger Rocky fan than you are. We know this.
40 years old.
But I'm starting to lean your way. Like, it's 40 years old. Like you said.
40 years old. Stop.
Like, can't we come up with something else?
Right. A New York Giants fan found maggots in his ketchup on his hot dog this past weekend. He posted a picture.
Out of the ketchup packet?
Out of the thing.
Oh my god!
Literally, like, so when I say the thing, for those who didn't see what I did, when you go to stand, you have to stand in the middle.
What you do
this? Yeah, it looks like so it goes the thing that makes you look like you're getting a blowjob. You push down over and over again.
Yeah, like you grab her hair.
Right.
Okay.
You do. You do that.
He starts to come and then he pulls out.
You push down on the thing. Apparently maggots got poured out of that mechanism in the middle of the Giant in MetLife Stadium, and so apparently it was.
So speaking of a blowjob, right?
Well, I'm just gonna say it's the second worst thing that happened that weekend in Giant Stadium this weekend. So go ahead, continue.
Well, speaking of a blowjob, fellas, listen, your girl will love it when she has to put a tampon on because she's got the fucking blood coming out, right? Oh, all right, cool. It's a blowjob coupon. There you go, man. There you go. She'll love it. She'll love it, man.
What do you do? What do you mean? What do you do?
It's like when you see her fucking grabbing a tampon.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh, look at that. A blowjob coupon.
Oh man. I'll let you know how it works out.
Yeah,
for me.
yeah, you know.
So I think it might be that. Yeah, it might be that weekend.
It might go well.
Evander Kane of the San Jose Sharks has finally admitted that he's been gambling. He has a gambling addiction. However, he has not admitted that he has been gambling on his own team.
That's crap.
He appeared on Outside the Lines this past weekend to discuss a variety of topics, including his addictions to gambling and his estranged wife, Anna, who has completely thrown him under the bus, like most women do. Basically said, you know, you're a fucking dirtbag. You've been spending your money on gambling and you bet against your own team. And he said, obviously, when the allegations happened, I understood the magnitude of them immediately, not knowing what was going to happen next, but confident because I know that's not true. I knew none of what she was saying was true. I was very confident, comfortable at where I was, knowing that I was going to be exonerated and I'm going to be exonerated of those charges. So he had no problem saying that he has a gambling problem, which, you know, look, we all have our fucking vices, right? We all.
Michael Jordan has a gambling problem.
Yeah, mine is going back to my dad for rape. So that's my fucking vice. And you have your vice, Ryan, which is dogs. Gary is drive while he's drunk, and Mike is his wife. So those are our vices, and we're those are our vices.
Good thing Mike doesn't listen to the show.
He will in the best of.
Dude, I think Gary left.
Yeah, he did. He's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, he rolled.
I said, hey,
is his phone over there?
I hope it is.
No, he rolled.
No, he's a fucking dickhead. Who leaves? You know what? He's not welcome back anymore. He's done.
He's done. He's out.
3 weeks in a row. He doesn't say anything, just freaking leaves. Asshole. He has a fucking segment still. Cocksucker. No, he doesn't. And that's basically why you were drunk. So you got popcorn tonight?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you got corner pop popcorn tonight. It's 2003, and that's gonna end the show tonight.
It's 10:30.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Wait, someone's at my door 7 minutes ago.
No, that's some dude talking to your wife.
Fucking asshole. I'm giving him shit. So 2003 is corner pop cop corn.
Popcorn. It's
corner pop cockcorn. Cockcorn.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So I had a guess. Oh, by the way, while you were drunk, Dave Peterson had one. While you were drunk, Bryce Harper has hit 21 of his last 22 games. Oh, really? He's had a hit in 21 of his last 22 games. I didn't know that. But he's batting
I didn't know that one either.
He's batting .314 with a 1.055 OPS and 77. No, it's not. He doesn't have 77 RBIs in his last 22 games.
Yeah,
that'd be a world record. He had
the
77 RBIs.
The last 30 days, he's batting .316 with 16 homers and 31 RBIs. It's fucking insane, dude. It's insane. All right, we ready? 2003?
Yeah, let's do it. So one of my guesses was Terminator 3, and apparently it's not in the top 10.
It's not in the top 10.
I know what number 1 is, no. I'm not going to give it away.
All right. Number 10, Bad Boys 2. Still the best one of that franchise. Sean, I was incorrect. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines is number 9.
Okay, so it was in the top 10.
Yes,
so I knew
yes.
one of them. All right. Hold on. Matrix Revelations is in the top 10.
No. It's not far from it.
Okay.
But we'll get there.
All right.
Number 8, Chicago.
I actually saw it in theater.
That was actually released.
Peterson said 77 RBIs in a season. Yeah, not in the last 22 games, you silly goat.
Number 7. I love this movie, dude. Elf.
That came out. Hold on. That came out at the end of. Maybe it came out in 2002.
No,
It came out at Christmas time. There's no
November-
fucking way. It was.
November 7th, 2003. Dude, that movie's fucking.
It is. It's all right.
Santa Claus. Santa!
I know him. It's all right.
I'm Santa Claus. No, you're not.
It's all right.
He beats him up.
It's an all right movie.
I love that movie. Number 6.
Here we go. I know him. I just got it. I know him.
Number 6. X2. X-Men 2.
That's actually a really good one. That's a good one.
That might be one of the better ones of that franchise.
That's probably the best of the franchise.
Might be, yeah. Number 5. Bruce Almighty.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh shit. That did that well. Comedy doing okay.
Number 4. This is something you were alluding to earlier. The Matrix Reloaded.
Oh, okay. All right.
But the other one's not far off the top 10.
Oh, because they came out a year apart.
Yes. Remember
they came out a year
they
apart.
did the Matrix and then they filmed these two at the same time.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 3. Lord of the Rings. Return of the King.
That's right. That came out around that time.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a second one.
Number 2. Pirates of the Caribbean. The first one. Curse of the Black Pearl.
That's the second one.
No, it's the first one.
What's the second one?
That is what the fuck's that one called? That's the one when he gets put in Davy Jones' locker at the end.
That wasn't called Black Pearl?
Curse of Black Pearl is the first one when he loses his ship to the fucking Barbosa.
I thought that was the first one. Okay, so yeah, you're right. The second one, Johnny Depp loses his cool.
Yeah. So did you hear the story about how he played
Dead Man's Chest? Dead Man's
Chest.
That's part 2. Yeah, Dave's got it.
Yeah, Dave. Me and Dave have had conversations.
Dave's writing all capitals too because he's like really excited.
Yeah,
about this.
he's a big
Dead Man's Chest and The World's End. I saw those two. I never saw the fourth one.
I seen it. It's good. It's not comparable to the first 3, but it's good.
Okay.
Number 1. Finding Nemo.
Yeah, Nemo. Yep.
It's actually not a bad movie.
No, it's all right.
So as we were talking, number 11 is The Matrix Revolutions.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Wow. So both Matrix movies.
Yes.
Wow. How about that? Okay.
So where are you at with the new Matrix? The trailer. What do you think?
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I
love
the Matrix. I was disappointed by the third one a little bit. I didn't like the ending.
I thought the ending was tremendous. I think that's what saved that movie.
Really?
Yeah. I love the way that ended.
I was depressed. He went blind and shit. Like, spoiler alert, Nemo goes blind, and the lesbian tries to find him by the smell of her pussy. So he's like, "Oh, is that fish?" And he goes to find her.
I got it. I just thought it was cool. Like he let Smith take him, and then the machines actually killed him. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. He sacrificed himself.
Yeah,
I didn't like the fact that she died the way she did,
right.
and that was fucked up. I was depressed by the ending, and if they would have ended it that way, okay, fine. Now they're bringing them back, and how they rejuvenate it and back. Because they're you know what? You know what would be cool? The Matrix Reset. You call it Matrix Reset, and it's okay.
Instead of resurrection, what
is it? Halloween.
So he's actually dead.
Halloween resurrection.
Right.
All right.
So I'm optimistic. I'm definitely going to go see it. I'm a little confused on how it works with him coming back.
Actually, what Peterson just said is one that I'm really excited about.
What?
Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah, absolutely.
That looks awesome.
Yeah.
That movie looks awesome. Yeah. Matrix, I'm like, what's happening here? Because there's so many questions that you don't get answered.
Yeah.
So,
but the movie.
So Halloween is the first movie I'm going to see in the theater in the last 2 years. Ghostbusters I will definitely see, and Matrix I'll watch at home.
But in 2 weeks, Saints of Newark.
St. Super
on the
Newark.
projector.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Can't wait for that.
And in 2 weeks, we're doing the show. Hopefully.
Yeah, as long as the weather holds up, we're going to do it at my house.
Yeah.
Number 15, the only reason I'm mentioning this is because the franchise is going on so long. It was the second Fast and the Furious. Too Fast, Too Furious. That was fucking 2003, the second one. Oh, yeah, I hear you, Sean. I'm out. I seen the first one. Haven't seen one since. Number 21.
You get your dick and your pussy all covered in shit.
Number 21. This is not a bad remake. The Italian Job.
I like that movie.
Yeah, so do I.
With all the minis.
Yeah.
That was actually a good movie.
And Charlize Theron.
Yeah, she looked all right. Ed Norton.
Yeah.
Wahlberg. I like that
think
movie.
I found a transformer.
That was a good movie.
Number 29. This may be an underrated opinion. I think this movie is excellent. The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise.
That was actually a good movie.
That's a great movie.
Dude, I didn't realize I saw that many movies in the fucking theater in 2003, but I guess so. Yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie. Freddy vs. Jason, number 33.
Yeah, I was actually going to watch that over the weekend.
Yeah.
I was too drunk.
The movie sucks until the last half hour.
You know what? It's not that. It might, you know what? I say that now. If I watch it now, I might be like, ugh.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
Number 37 is Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers, which
Jesus
came out the year before.
Wow.
Number 38. This may be Will Ferrell's best movie, old school.
Okay.
You got to keep our composure.
Debatable. Let's go shaking. Bring your pink hat, Snoopaloop.
Snoopaloop, he calls him.
It's a good one.
Number 40, Kill Bill Volume 1.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love the Kill Bill movies.
And the only reason I'm mentioning this, 48, Gothica, because Angelina Jolie gets fucked in that. All right,
I
here
didn't
we
see
go.
that one. I saw the other one where she was with Antonio Banderas.
That's Gothica.
That's not Gothica.
No, it's Ethan Hawke in Gothica.
Yeah, I didn't see Gothica. There was another one with Antonio Banderas hitting her missionary style and big ass floppy titties flopping around.
All right, dude. Number 53. The only hint, this has a historic meaning on our show.
Oh, man. I don't know.
That my daughter.
Oh, no. Oh, really? Mystic River.
That my daughter there.
Yeah, Mystic River. Wow.
That's a great movie, dude.
Yeah, it was a really good movie. Yeah, that was a tough one.
I don't know if there's any more worth mentioning. Just scrolling through real quick.
Speaking of Sean Penn.
This man smelled like a pack of Marlboro cigarettes.
Totally.
Shots of Everclear alcohol and regret.
Totally. There's really.
I say that's enough.
Yeah, there's really not.
All right.
Any more worth mentioning.
So that's our show tonight, guys. We are, we're Corner Plus Sports, a bunch of assholes doing our thing, and as always, we gladly want to thank Mr. Gary Shee for joining us tonight for 20 minutes of the fucking.
Thanks for stopping by, bro.
Thanks for stopping by.
And yelling at me because I debate with you a little bit.
Yeah, what the fuck? Getting all mad at you and shit. We want to thank our listeners who are listening live tonight, who chimed in. We want to thank Jordan Skopp for joining us tonight for Foul Ball Safety Now. Check him out. Check out that website if you're worried about your kids getting injured in games, and if you're worried about falling asleep. Oh shit! I forgot something.
What?
While you were drunk, I got a hole-in-one last week at a golf course.
Yes, he did. Give this man his props.
A 230 par 4. I got an albatross. Hit a shot to the left. Didn't know if it went in or not. Went down to the green. My stepfather-in-law ended up finding it. Pulled it out of the hole. And so I got a double eagle. First ever hole-in-one, probably my only hole-in-one in my life. So it was fucking amazing. It was amazing.
Not many people that could say they have one though, dude.
Especially a par 4.
Par 4.
Yeah.
When it happens, it's usually on a par 3.
It was fucking cool, man. It was. I thought it hit the trees and that was it. Here it went, hit the trees, but fucking must have slowed it down enough to go into the hole. I don't fucking know how it happened. I don't care. So that's all I care about.
Well done, man. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. So that's it. We're gonna end the show on that note. And fuck Gary. And we'll see you guys next week. Next week we have SG Carter on the show. He's gonna give you some MMA betting tips. And Dave Peterson just said, always a fun evening. Sorry I missed your last week. We're glad to be here. Have a great weekend. Now we're in the fall season. Fly, Eagles fly, and way to go, Sean. Good job. Thank you, sir. You're a good man.
And I'll catch up with you in 2 weeks. I'll be down the shore next weekend. So 2 weeks, my house. We're going to do a show, and then we're going to watch Saints of Newark.
Yes, it's going to be a short show in 2 weeks. Yeah, that's for sure. We will see you guys next week. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're Corner Plus Sports.